My name's David Avitia. I'm a catcher, and you're watching the Birds Broadcast Network.
Hey, we got a special day game, so we're in the shades because we've got the earliest game on the Cape tonight, or I guess this afternoon more so. Scotty Gange, Alec Hendon. Welcome to Bird's Eye View from Red Wilson Field, not Wed Wilson Field, Alec.
That's not the name of the field, Scotty. It's been a long day. This is day 10 without an off day, and we're about a little more than halfway through this stretch. But
are you tired?
Oh yes, I'm exhausted, but
we're not even playing.
We're not. Yeah, I can't imagine being these guys.
We sit here.
We sit in chairs and we smile at cameras.
I swear, these get heavier every game.
I think you're right.
This is our workout.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
The grind never stops, not just for the Firebirds, but for the media team here. We're having fun. We shouldn't complain as much, though.
Oh, no. Okay, then let's talk about the Firebirds.
Yeah.
The grind has not stopped for them, and it's not going to anytime soon. 4 losses in a row. Things have been trouble for them.
Yeah, it just seems like the games against Chatham where they lose 8-7, the offense shows up. And then the game against Wareham, just an all-around blowout. Just nothing really goes right. You lose 15-4. Then yesterday, Jared Schuster comes out, throws 5 shutout innings. Offense just can't get moving. It was a very bristly paced game. And then unfortunately in the 8th inning, the defense let him down. 4 costly errors occurred late in the last 2 innings that cost them the game, and a 4-0 loss to YD, who they're playing again today. They just haven't been able to get out on top of the season, but Noah Skiro's on the bump today.
Right.
And the best thing about baseball, Scotty, I'm going to keep saying it through this skid. There's always a game the next day, and we're here on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. And we'll see if the Firebirds' luck can turn around.
Listen, each game it seems like although they're losing, there's an extreme positive to take away. And honestly, in some of the wins that they had, there was probably less positives. In the 2 games against Chatham, it showed that they're a team that can come back. It showed that they're a team that doesn't give up when the chips are not in their favor. You know, last night I think it showed that for the first 8 innings, they can really play a clean ball game. And of course, there were some skirmishes, some things that kind of messed that up. But those first innings of baseball, especially with Schuster on the mound, it looked like a top tier team.
Absolutely, they look like they look like the team they've been all season. The pitching was tremendous. The defense was good. The offense was still slowly working their way into the game. Credit to Legend Smith, who pitched for them yesterday. He threw 5 tremendous innings and was tremendous. But for the Firebirds, like I was talking,
a sweet name too.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah, great name for a legend. He pitched like a legend last night. But talking with
style points. That was good.
I have to try to top you in some form, Scotty. But I was talking with Orleans pitching coach Matt Troop yesterday, and he talked about just one thing that I think has been bothering the team is it's just a big roster shuffle these last few games. Guys coming in and out, losing players. Matt Goodhart went home the other day, but they got a new player today starting at first base, Trevin Esquerra. He's a San Diego kid, so I'm a little closer.
You sound good saying
that. Thank you. I have to roll my R's. I do it for my family, but
I can't do that. I go Trevin Esquerra.
Esquerra. It's fun.
Okay. That's so. Every time we talk about, say his name.
Trevin Esquerra.
Alec Hendon's going to say it, whether it's on the broadcast, whether it's on the Bird's Eye View pregame show. Let's break down him. What is he?
Love it.
With his entrance to the team, of course, Matt Goodhart going home and Cam Fields off the roster now too. What does he bring to the Firebirds? Maybe some new life.
Well, he definitely brings new life, and he is ambidextrous in both ways. He's not just a switch hitter, Scotty. He can throw with his left and right hand. He's going to play first base today with Ray Gill still bothered with some lingering injuries right now. So he's going to be asked to hit 5th, to provide some big impact in the middle of the order, and play first base, a position that Ray has done tremendously so far this season. So we'll see. I'm not sure exactly which glove he's going to use today or which side of the plate he's going to hit, depending on the pitcher. But I'm really excited. He's an exciting player from Loyola Marymount, had a very good season, had some power, and he'll be needed to provide some big backs. And I know this ballpark isn't the tiniest, or isn't the largest, so we might be able to see some fireworks today on a Sunday. A beautiful Sunday here, Scotty.
It really is beautiful. And speaking. Mr. Michael Lane, he's not only the lead broadcast intern for the Cape Cod Baseball League, but also a PR intern. Michael, first off, welcome into Bird's Eye View on this beautiful sunny day.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I've got the glasses on, you've got the hat. It's hot today, isn't it?
It's very hot. I had to make sure I was wearing shorts.
Yes, okay, I wore the pants. I don't know if you guys can see them. It's a tough, shouldn't have done it. I feel bad about myself. But I want to focus on you and less about this beautiful day. You have been to every single park now. You've watched different games each day. I know you sometimes go to 2 or 3 games a day. From off the bat, what's the biggest thing that you've noticed this season in the Cape Cod League?
There's a lot of talent this year, especially pitching talent. The East is very strong. I've been at Chatham and Orleans to your guys' games a lot, and I think the East is going to be really tough for whoever comes out of that. But the West, they also have some really good teams with Wareham and Katuitt,
Right.
really strong offenses. So
Wareham's a fun team to watch. I know they had 15 runs against the Firebirds the other day, which wasn't fun for most people watching this Bird's Eye View show, but it was fun to watch just as a spectator and seeing how good they are. In terms of a PR intern, I'm kind of interested in what that job really entails for you.
well, we're trying to promote the league. I mean, the thing that I think is important is there's so many people who follow the sport, follow the Cape League. All the baseball people know the respect that the Cape League has and the history behind it. And I think it's important to push that it's not just about the game, it's about the whole experience. I mean, you come here, you got a lot of open field, there's kids running around, they'll be playing over here on the side. The bullpens are right on the field, you can interact with the players. Some of the fields have fun food things, like here they have the donut burger.
Oh, don't remind me.
Yeah, so, I mean, the whole experience at all the stadiums, like everyone has something different.
Yeah.
And to promote that, to try and get more people to come out and be able to experience how awesome it is here is just important.
So it's for you, it's far kind of less off the diamond and more kind of around the stadiums and the overall aura of the league, it sounds like.
Yeah, that's what I think is most important to push that we should keep promoting.
I know that the Cape Cod Baseball League is proud to have dozens and hundreds of former MLB players, and I know you guys are kind of focusing hard this year to really push that and shed light on that and the fact that this is, if you're a college baseball player, the league to be a part of.
Yeah, we've had a lot of players making their debut just within the last month when we've started pushing out like congratulations on their debut tweets. We're going to push one out in a couple minutes. Peter Alonso, he played with the Bourne Braves in 2015. He just broke the franchise record for the New York Mets of homers in a first half, and he's a rookie.
Yeah.
So, and he was only here 4 summers ago, so it's, you know, it really is the place to be if you're a premier college baseball player.
And I know for you're running the broadcast interns too, and maybe in a lucky part of that, it's pretty cool to have, you know, media teams on each team. And I know that, you know, 10 years ago it wasn't like that for this league as a whole.
Yeah, it keeps growing. All the teams have broadcasts now. I mean, I used to watch some of the broadcasts because I'm from New Jersey, so I wouldn't be able to spend the full summer up here. And I remember probably about 8 years ago, there would just be a picture, even for the home teams. It would just be a picture, and you'd listen, watching on like a weird desktop computer in the back room. And nowadays, you can just pull out your phone and watch you guys put on a great pregame show, postgame show, all different kinds of content. And just watch that on my phone as I'm driving to, or not as I'm driving, but going to a different stadium.
Well, as you're driving,
No.
Oh my goodness. No, I'm just kidding. And yeah, you mentioned that, you know, the technology boom has really helped out this league. And I'm wondering for you guys, if there's something specifically this season that you are trying to promote the most, or if you have a specific goal in terms of PR for the league, what would it be?
We have a couple goals, but one of our big ones is trying to get to 10K on Instagram. Because
Where
then
are you
can,
now?
We're around 8.4.
Okay.
It's been about a month since I started and along with the other PR interns. And when we started, we were 6.7K. So it's a pretty good growth, about
That's
a
amazing.
third of the way through.
I don't even think I follow you guys. I got to follow you.
Yeah,
So you'll
follow
have
us.
8.4 plus 1K, counting me. Right? That
Yeah,
sounds good.
that'll help us.
I know for, you know, me and Alec Hendon, who was on earlier, and Josh White, Thomas Inzarella, we spend every day with the Orleans Firebirds. But you spend every day going around to different parks. How is that different for you rather than being with the same team every day?
It's really unique. The ability not just going to the parks, but meeting all different kinds of people. Every team has their own interns in the broadcasting and the social media. You know, really getting exposure with so many different people and hearing everyone's story. You know, it's crazy to hear how different people find their way here. Like, everyone has a different story. And then to be able to see all the different players from every team and not just have a vision of just how one team's performing, have a better grasp of how the league's going to play out overall.
And get to really know the individuals you're saying. That's really cool. And the most important question, if you've seen the Bird's Eye View pregame and postgame show before, you may know what's coming, but the most important question I could ever ask you, are you having fun this summer?
This is the best summer of my life, honestly. Being able to spend the full summer up here just around the Cape League. There's nothing better.
That's fantastic. Michael Lane, thank you so much for
Thank you for
hanging
having
out
me.
here. Really appreciate you. You do fantastic work. He does fantastic work. Follow on Instagram at
official_CCBL.
@official_CCBL. Get them to 10,000. Thanks again, Michael.
Thank you.
My name's David Avitia.
The Orleans Firebirds look to get back on track as the Firebirds head west to take on the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox to wrap up this weekend home and home here on gorgeous Cape Cod. Alongside my broadcast partner Thomas Zinzarella, I'm Josh White. And Thomas, it was a great ball game last night through the first 6 innings, a pure pitcher's duel, but then Orleans got a little sloppy, throwing around the baseball. It drove in 3 for the Red Sox in the 8th. An additional run in the 9th, and the Birds couldn't get the bats going.
Yeah, the Birds just could not get those bats going. Able to manufacture 4 hits, but no runs, unfortunately. And it was a pitcher's duel for the first 5 or 6 innings. Jared Schuster was strong on the mound for the Firebirds, followed up by a scoreless inning from Jake Eater. But the Birds just couldn't keep things going through all 9 innings. We'll have to see today if the Firebirds can get a couple early runs here in the early goings. Of course, they're going against a tough opposing pitcher in Ian Seymour, who the Firebirds have now seen for the 2nd time this year.
Seymour so far this summer, 1-2 with a 4.39 ERA, but pitched 5 innings of 2-run baseball against Orleans earlier this summer and struck out 10. Let's look at the Orleans Firebirds starting lineup. A couple interesting things to note in the lineup. Josh Zamora back in there for the Firebirds. He'll be the DH batting in the 2 spot. And a recent activation for Orleans just this morning. Trevin Esqueda, the power-hitting first baseman from Loyola Marymount, will hit 5th for Kelly Nicholson's club in front of Noah Skiro, set to make his 4th start of the season. The Orleans Firebirds 11-8-2. This is game number 22 of 44, the midway mark of the regular season. The Firebirds 2.5 games out of the Chatham Anglers for first place, and the YD Red Sox just 1 game out of Chatham in the East at 13-7-1. So the Red Sox lead the season series 3-0 over Orleans. They beat the Firebirds here at Red Wilson Field on game number 2, 8-2. They beat the Firebirds 9-5 at Eldridge Park 9 days later. And then last night, back in Orleans, they defeated the Firebirds 4-0. So Orleans will try and get off the schneid, take their first game of this season series, as well as try and snap a 4-game losing skid. Jacob Hurtubise, the center fielder from Army, steps in. First pitch from Ian Seymour. Fastball taken up and in for ball 1, and we are underway at 5:05 p.m. Hurtubise, a recent addition for this Firebird squad, has been an absolute treat at the top of this Orleans lineup. 3 for his first 9. The 1-0. Hurtubise shows bunt, pulls back on the breaking ball that misses off the plate, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Well, Hurtubise's speed, if he can place one down, he can definitely reach first base, and sometimes that's all you need to do, is just try to get on base any way you can.
Hurtubise has shown off the wheels throughout his collegiate career. The Patriot League career record holder in stolen bases. 2-0, he's showing bunt and takes a fastball in the inside corner, and it's 2-1. Hurtubise started this summer with the Harwich Mariners, played 5 games for Steve Angler's club. Now has come a little further east with the Orleans Firebirds. 5'11", a $180 Indiana native steps back in, 2-1. Fastball misses up and away, and the count's 3 balls and 1 strike. Ian Seymour on the bump, the southpaw out of Virginia Tech. Pitched against Orleans on the 2nd night of the summer. 3-1 offering. Fastball runs up and in, ball 4. So Hurtubise draws a leadoff walk, and the Birds have the first base run of the afternoon.
And a well-worked walk there by Jacob Hurtubise, seeing a couple pitches at the hill, or excuse me, at the dish, and able to work a walk. And sometimes, if the Firebirds can again just get a run out there, so that when Skiro goes out onto the hill, he has a 1-0 lead. It makes the pitcher feel a little bit better and more comfortable on the mound already.
So that will bring up Josh Zamora, who gets back into this Firebirds lineup after not playing since 4th of July. And Zamora has struggled as of late with the bat, just 3 for his last 30. Seymour set at the belt, checks on Hurtubise at first, and he's going to throw that way, and Hurtubise steps back in. Hurtubise again with good speed, the all-time Patriot League record holder in stolen bases for 105 through his first 3 seasons. Swiped 45 bags this past season at Army. That's a single season record for Army. First pitch to Zamora, breaking ball misses outside for ball 1. Let's give you the YD defensive alignment. The outfield from left to right. Austin Wells, Jake Palmer, and Riley Terada. The infield, Riley King at third. Wyatt Young, the shortstop, R.J. Yeager at second. Jack Wold at first. And Noah Cardenas, the battery mate, to Ian Seymour. 1-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Fastball up in the zone. Called a strike, and it's 1-1. Good frame job by Cardenas. Zamora just batting $157 so far this summer. He's 0 for 7 with 4 Ks against the Red Sox in the first couple of meetings. Supporting the high Sox from the right side. Seymour stares at Hurtubise. The 1-1 home. Breaking ball misses up and away. It's 2-1.
So far, these now to the second here almost in this Firebirds lineup. Seems that both Hurtubise and now Zamora are trying to take a lot of pitches here. See what Seymour has to offer. Try to work that pitch count up against him.
Seymour 89-92 with the fastball. Another check on Hurtubise at first base. Nothing doing. He's going to drop a curveball and a changeup on occasion as well. He's a guy who strikes out his fair share of hitters. Again, struck out 10 the last time he faced the Orleans Firebirds, but has 23 Ks and 14 1/3 so far this summer. 2-1 the count, the pitch. Fastball fouled back to the screen, and it's 2-2. He struck out 81 batters in 70 1/3 this past season for the Hokies, including a career-high 10. May make that 11, beg your pardon, against the Miami Hurricanes. 2-2 the count to Josh Zamora in the DH spot tonight for Kelly Nicholson's club, with Orleans and Yarmouth Dennis scoreless in the top of the first. Hurtubise sizing up Seymour. Seymour checks the 2-2. Breaking ball hit to the third baseman King. Gloves it, throw to second base in time. On to first, not in time. So a 5-4 fielder's choice that Zamora beats out. And that'll move Zamora to first and take Hurtubise off the base pass.
Well, for the Firebirds, it's not the worst thing in the world. Obviously, Hurtubise is out over at second base, but Zamora able to beat down a quick turn up the middle as it was a slow ground ball to Riley King, the third baseman. But Zamora hustling down the line, able to beat the throw over on the transition.
So that will bring up Danny Soretti, the switch-hitting second baseman from North Carolina. He'll dig in from the right side with the southpaw on the mound. Seymour's first offering. Fastball up and away for ball 1. Soretti 0 for 4 last night with a strikeout. Dropped that average down to 226. It's really started to come around for Orleans. Shy of last night, was riding a 5-game hit streak. Zamora on first with 1 away here in the top of the first between the Firebirds and the Red Sox. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball drops in on the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Let's give it the umpires for tonight. Calling balls and strikes is Mike Hinojosa. At first base is Mickey Garcia, and Vincent Alexander Medina is at third. So on a picture-perfect day for baseball in South Yarmouth. 72 degrees, maybe 1 or 2 clouds in the sky. The 1-1. Breaking ball misses upstairs, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, not too hot here on Cape Cod. The sun is out, but the breeze keeps it nice and cool. Obviously right here on the water on the Cape.
Very small sample size so far, but Danny Soretti just 1 for 8 from the right side this summer. Runner going, 1-2, breaking ball. Waved out and missed, throw down to second. In time. So Josh Zamora is gunned down 2-4. The throw is on the third base side of the bag, but Yeager had plenty of time to slap it on.
We could tell it's definitely hit and run. The pitch was up and out of the zone, and Soretti just trying to make contact with it, with that pitch. Unable to do so, and leaves Zamora out to dry over at second.
So there's now 2 away, 2-2 the count to the Birds' 3-hole hitter, Danny Soretti. Rising sophomore out of North Carolina digs back in. Here's the 2-2. Fastball up in the zone, waved out and missed, strike 3. So Seymour bounces back, punches out Soretti, and this side is retired. Firebirds score no runs on no hits, no errors, and they leave nobody left on base. After the top of the first, Orleans and YD scoreless, and let's check in with our sideline reporter, Scotty Gage.
Additionally, the Massachusetts Education Reform Act prohibits the use of any tobacco products at this location.
Thanks, Josh. A few talking points before we really get into this game. The first one is something kind of interesting that I haven't seen in a long time is Max
Also,
Troiani.
cameras and video cameras are permitted inside Red Wilson
There we
Field
go. Thanks, Josh.
for
Sorry about that.
personal photos,
Was fumbling around with my
but
stuff.
cannot be used to reproduce
It's a hot
the
day today. We're
game,
getting into it.
players,
Something
or
interesting before we kind of
on-field
go into this
events
game is Max
without the
Troiani.
express
Well, I haven't seen him do this all
permission
season long, and I
of the
like to watch
YD
the
Red
pitchers
Sox.
when they're
Use
throwing in the
of
bullpen.
camera or
It's the fact that
video
Max
equipment
Troiani actually went
must not
and was
interfere
standing
with
as a
other
batter
fans'
right in front of Rob
enjoyment
Emery when
of
Noah
the
Skiro
game.
was throwing his bullpen right before he was about to go out onto the mound. So warming up, there was a man in the batter's box, which is kind of different. You don't really see it every day. So I'm interested. I'm going to ask Max after the game if that was more for him in terms of seeing the ball off one of his pitchers, just getting to see the ball a few more times, or if it's something that Skiro likes to do. So it's going to be interesting to see if that kind of transitions over. And then also have a lot of fun on the slate for later on in the game. And so that's a fun little teaser. We're going to get into that as the innings go on in our fun little radio broadcast. And really couldn't be much of a better day outside. It's a little hot. We gotta keep our hydration on, but it's a fantastic day, guys.
So we'll see how that impacts Noah Skiro tonight, and maybe he'll be a little sharper on the bump. And he's been great so far this summer. 1-0 with a .75 ERA. His last start picked up his first CCBL victory, went 5 scoreless, only allowed 2 hits, walked 3, and struck out 9. But he'll go up against a YD Red Sox team that is top 3 in the league in average home runs and runs total. And their lineup goes like this. Wyatt Young, the shortstop, leads things off. Noah Campbell, switch hitting DH, bats second. Austin Wells in left field from Arizona hits third. The third baseman, Riley King, bats cleanup. At first is Jack Wold. He'll hit fifth. The right fielder, Riley Tirada, bats sixth. Center fielder, Jake Palmer, bats seventh. Noah Cardenas will do the catching duties and hit eighth. And R.J. Yeager, the second baseman from Mercer, will round out the order in the 9th spot. So Wyatt Young at 5'7", who has been a force to be reckoned with in the batter's box so far this summer, will step in from the left side. Young leading the Cape with a .379 average, running a 9-game hit streak into this evening's ballgame. First pitch from Noah Skiro, fastball flared down the left side and out of play for strike 1. The Skiro family right to our right taking in this ball game tonight, with Noah making his 4th start of the summer. Noah's been sharp so far. Here's the 0-1 from the right-hander. Young shows bunt, takes the fastball down low, and it's 1-1. That start came 6 days ago at Falmouth, where he threw 5 scoreless and struck out 9. Opponent's just batting a .146 off the 6'3", 225-pound hurler. Skiro out of the windup, the 1-1, fastball off the plate, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. So we saw it yesterday. I believe it was Jake Eater on the bump at 6'5", and Wyatt Young at 5'7". Here's 6'3" versus 5'7". Skiro rocks and fires the 2-1. Breaking ball bounces low. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. Young was aboard twice last night. Picked up a single and was hit by the pitch. He's now 5 for 12 against the Firebirds this summer. 3-1 the count to the Red Sox leadoff man, and now Young calls time. So the All-West Coast Conference honorable mention digs back in. Skiro rocks and fires the 3-1. Fastball line down the left side. Tailing towards the foul pole. This one will run foul, and it's 3-2.
Well, Wyatt Young so far, and through the 2 pitches that he has fouled off, he's really choking up on the bat. Obviously, just 5'7". Has to get the hands around very quickly in there, just a little tardy, as that ball drifted down the left field line, but foul. Obviously left-hander, so that ball will be slicing the entire time.
So Young, who just batted, and when I mean just, I mean this kind of in quotes, considering what he's batting on the Cape. He hit .313 this past season at Pepperdine. Batting .379. Payoff pitch, fastball on the outside corner for strike 3. Young started walking down towards first base. The home plate umpire, Mike Hossa, punched him out, and there's 1 away.
Well, good comeback pitch there by Skira. Goes right back to the fastball, paints on the outside corner. Couldn't make a better pitch than that. And retires the ever-dangerous Wyatt Young.
That's a tough pitch to hit, and now Noah Campbell, DH from South Carolina, will dig in. No score here with 1 away in the bottom of the 1st between the Firebirds and the Red Sox. Here's the first pitch from Skiro. Fastball smacked out to shallow center field. Hurtaby's charging in. He's on the run. Makes a shoestring catch for the 2nd out of the inning.
Well, that's what you get with a center fielder who has a lot of speed, and Hurtaby is able to track down those balls that might be able to drop down for Blue Pit, but that one's staying up just enough. And Hurtubise on the run, makes the catch. Got the center fielder here, or center field in general here at Red Wilson Field. Not that deep at all, but the left field and right field line are much deeper than a typical ballpark.
Just 352 to dead central at Red Wilson Field. Austin Wells, the batter. Here's the first pitch from Skiro. Fastball taken low for ball one. Let's give you Orleans' defensive alignment tonight. Zach Britton in left, Jacob Hurtubise in center, Zach Daniels in right. The infield, Tanner Murray at third, Eddie McCabe, the shortstop, Danny Soretti at second, Trevin Esquera at first, and Rob Emery, the battery mate to Noah Skiro. 1-0 fouled off down the left side, and it's 1-1. Austin Wells has done it all so far for this Red Sox squad, hitting .329 while leading the league in home runs and RBIs. That's 5 and 19 respectively. Here's the 1-1. Fastball smacked the other way and out of play, and it's 1-2. It hasn't just been the pop for Wells either. 12 walks across the first 21 games. He's had a patient eye at the dish as well. The 1-2 coming. Fastball runs off the dish, and it's 2-2. So Skiro trying to work around falling behind Wyatt Young, but battled back for a K and set down the Red Sox in order. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball slicing down the left side and out of play, and we'll do it again. Firebirds have done very well against Austin Wells through the first 3 games of this 6-game set this season. Wells just 1 for 9 with a double. That came last night. 2-2. Fastball just missed low and outside. Skiro took a couple steps towards the Orleans dugout, and the count runs full.
That was a good-looking pitch. Looked like the same spot where Wyatt Young was punched out, but Mike Hinojosa, the whole umpire, says just a little bit off the plate.
I think that was more of a strike, if you want my honest opinion. Payoff pitch, fastball fouled off, and we'll do it again.
That could have.
I thought it had more plate than the pitch Wyatt Young went down looking on.
I may have thought so too, but
Orleans and YD scoreless here in the bottom of the first. Here's the 2-out payoff pitch. Fastball smacked into shallow center field. Second baseman Soretti charges over. He'll make the grab, and this side is retired. So Noah Skiro sets down the Red Sox in order, and we'll head to the top of the second here at Red Wilson Field with the Firebirds and the Red Sox scoreless. Go listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Cummins and Moore extending their leads, the 1-2. Raker smacked the other way into the right center field gap. Hill on the run, he can't get there. The Moore jogging around for third. He'll score easily. Whitcomb getting the green light, and Daniels digging for third. Whitcomb scores without a throw, and into third base with a 2 RBI.
Top of the second we go here at Red Wilson Field. Orleans and Yarmouth. Dennis scoreless, and Zach Britton, the left fielder from Louisville, will dig in from the left side. Set to face the southpaw from Virginia Tech, Ian Seymour. So Seymour retired the Birds with some help from his defense in that first. First pitch to Zach Britton. Fastball check swing number to the third base side. Kingcomb charges in, fires a bullet high, pulls Wold off the bag. He steps on the first base bag in time for the first out of the inning.
Tough break there by Zach Britton. You could tell he wanted to hold up, but ended up checking it down the third base line, around like hitting the third baseman, able to make the play down there.
So now Trevin Esqueda, the first baseman from Loyola Marymount, will dig in for his first Cape Cod Baseball League debut. First Cape Cod Baseball League AB. He's got a big smile on his face. First pitch. Fastball taken on the outside corner for strike one. Esqueda batted .322 this past season at Loyola with 16 homers. Drove in 60 runs in 59 ball games. Here's the 0-1. Fastball corked out to right center field. Second baseman Yeager going out. Terada charging in. Right center field gap. Makes the grab. Now drops it on the run. And Esqueda will drop back to first base. And the Birds a one-out base runner here in the second.
I should go down as a hit here for the Firebirds. I think it was just the angle that Terada took it at coming in from right field, meeting with his fellow center fielder Jake Palmer. And I think Palmer might have had the better angle on that, but Terada called him off, and either one of them able to make the catch.
So throw that ball in the Orleans dugout. It's the first Cape Cod Baseball League hit for Trevin Esqueda. And now Eddie McCabe, the batter for the Firebirds, with one away. Seymour out of the stretch from the third base side of the rubber. Southpaw winds and fires first pitch. Breaking ball misses off the plate for ball one.
And those are some of the breaks sometimes that the Firebirds really haven't had over the last 4 or 5 games or so. And hits like that can really get things going.
McCabe batting .238 so far this summer. 0 for 2 last night, but drew a walk. Seymour a deep breath, the 1-0. Fastball taken above the letters, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Firebirds and Red Sox scoreless with one away in the top of the second. We'll see what Esquera can do on the base path. Stole 1 base this past season for Loyola Marymount. Seymour set. Here's the 2-0. Fastball taken on the outside corner, and it's 2-1. Now, Esquera is an interesting story. He's ambidextrous, and when I mean he's ambidextrous, doesn't mean he's just a switch hitter. He can throw the ball with both hands. Now, I asked Ryan Erickson, Firebirds assistant coach, who coaches Esqueda at Loyola Marymount. 2-1 pitch. Fastball up in the zone, waved out and missed, and it's 2-2. And I said, when he's ambidextrous, does that mean he'll play first base left-handed and second base right-handed? And he goes, yes. So he can potentially play all 9 positions and will change gloves depending on what position.
We saw Pat Van Dyke in the big leagues do that.
2-2. Fastball cut on a miss, strike 3. Seymour a high hitter. McCabe can't catch up. And there's 2 away. Now I asked the follow-up question. I go, what if his arm gets tired? Will he just go to a different one? And he goes, yeah, that's exactly what he does.
So technically, if a pitcher has a limit of 90 pitches, he can use 180 pitches because he can throw with both arms.
He can throw both arms conceivably if we teach him how to pitch.
I mean,
why not, right?
We should be getting on this right now.
This should be a good case. So there's 2 down here in the top of the second with Orleans and Yarmouth Dennis, nothing apiece. And the catcher, Rob Emery, will check in from the right side. Emery 0 for 3 last night with a pair of strikeouts, making his second straight start behind the dish. Orleans trying to slow down Seymour just a touch. Emery steps in. Here's the first pitch. Fastball smacked out of play for strike 1.
A couple of cars maybe getting hit here in the early going to this ball game.
I did notice today Thomas Zinzarella parked his car way, way far from the field. I'm talking left of the press box.
It's a veteran move here if you've ever been to Red Wilson Field before.
And when I mean left, I mean wide left. Here's the 0-1. Fastball up in the zone, misses off the plate, and it's 1-1.
A new window is not in the budget this summer. That is for sure on my car.
How about new tires?
Definitely not.
Gas anytime soon?
Gas, yes.
Okay.
It's what you need your vehicle to go, and that's the minimum.
I'm just here to ask the question.
Maybe a car wash or 2.
Skeda on first with 2 down here in the top of the second. The 1-1. Fastball catches the inside corner, and it's 1-2. Tanner Murray, third baseman from UC Davis, waits on deck for Orleans. And what makes this one of my favorite places to broadcast the game, the Orleans on deck circle is right in front of us. Be careful what you say. 1-2 the count to Rob Emery. Here's Seymour's offering. Fastball up and away, gets past Cardenas to the backstop, and Esquera will take second base on the wild pitch.
Now the Firebirds, even though there's 2 outs, have a runner in scoring position. And again, it's one of those moves with Ascaro just reaching on the fly ball that could have been caught out in right center field. Now reaching second on a wild pitch. A couple things like that can really come back and haunt the Red Sox.
Also, how cool is this? Not only do the Firebirds have an ambidextrous player, they have Trevin Esqueda and Isaac Esqueda. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball cut on a missed, strike 3. Back-to-back punch-outs for Ian Seymour, his third of the night. And the Birds are retired. Orleans scores no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. After an inning and a half, it's the Red Sox and the Firebirds scoreless. You're listening to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Leads the Cape in home runs and RBIs. Fastball outside corner, strike 3 call. First pitcher, Ray Gill rolls over. Slow chopper towards the shortstop. Young flips it on to Dugas. Dugas comes right back around and gets Gill. The 2-2. Fastball, strike 3.
Here's the payoff pitch. Breaking ball in there, called strike 3. Jared Schuster freezes Andrew Eister. Make it 12 in a row, retired by Schuster. Emery squaring around once again, 1-2. Breaking ball, pops it up, gets it down. The pitcher Carvajal comes on, throws to second in time, on to first, and they got him.
Second baseman King, the 1-0 pitch. Curveball is slashed out towards right center field. Daniels on the run out there. And he makes the catch, tagging up from second as King throws over towards third base. It's in time! Kicks and fires the 1-2. Curveball rolled over towards the first baseman. Bryn gets past him in the right field for a base hit. Coming around third, and the throw is over as Esqueda cuts it off, throws over towards second base. That goes into center field. And another one goes, one to Wells. Wells thrashes one towards the left field. Toronto on his horse, jumps for it. He can't get to it. It's over his head off the wall. Toronto reaches it, throw it in towards second base. And standing up is Austin Wells as he drives in. Wide Young from third base. His tying run still at the plate. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball tipped into Wells, meant for strike 3. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball ground over towards the third baseman, King, who fields it on his forearm. Throws over to first time, and as they defeat the Firebirds here by a score of 4-0. Leads the Cape.
Home half of the second we go at Red Wilson Field. Orleans and Yarmouth Dennis scoreless, and Noah Skiro heads back out to the bump for the Orleans Firebirds. First pitch to Riley King. Fastball misses off the dish for ball 1. Skiro retired the Red Sox in order in the first and struck out the Cape Cod Baseball League leader in average, Riley King. Wyatt Young looking. Riley King back in. Here's the 1-0. Fastball hits King on the back of the left elbow. He'll trot down to first base. And the Red Sox, their first base runner of the night.
The pitch just came up and in on Riley King, and he'll take his base down over at first.
So that will bring up Jack Wold, the first baseman from UNLV. Wold did not play last night against the Firebirds at Eldridge Park, but was 3 for 8 in the first 2 meetings with a pair of RBIs. Righty on lefty matchup with a runner on first. Here's the first pitch. Fastball up in the zone, called ball 1. We saw the Red Sox run rampant on Orleans in the first couple of meetings. They stole 4 bases last night, with 3 of them coming after the 7th inning. We'll see if King decides to take off from first. Is 1 for 2 in stolen base attempts this summer. 1-0, fastball up and away. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Orleans nothing, Yarmouth Dennis nothing, with a runner on first and nobody down in the last of the second. Wold hitting .273 this summer, playing in his 20th game. Skiro set from the third base side, 2-0. Fastball swung on, fouled back, and it's 2-1. This is game 22 for both of these sides, the midway mark of a 44-game regular season. Orleans 11-8-2 over the first 21. YD 13-7-1 over the first 21. Both teams will be above the 500 mark through the first half. Skiro out of the stretch, 2-1. Fastball skied down the left side. Murray gives a look. This runs out of play, and it's 2-2.
Just shows you the Cape League season really does fly by once you get past June. I always say the summer market is always once you get to July 4th. You're willing to get to July 4th, and after that, it just takes off.
So if it hasn't felt like it's taken off already, it's going to really fly.
It's going to really fly.
So a righty on lefty matchup with nobody down in the inning. The 2-2. Curveball just missed outside. A gorgeous bender from Skiro. Not called strike 3, and instead it's 3-2.
Another really good pitch there by Skiro. Trying to go with the backdoor curveball there. That must have had a miss on the outside corner.
So Skiro gives a scratch to that great beard on the mound. Now gets back on. Here's the payoff pitch. Runner going. Breaking ball misses low and in. Ball 4. So after potentially firing strike 3, it's ball 4 the next pitch later. And the Red Sox have runners on first and second and nobody out.
Again, just tough breaks like that have not gone the Firebirds' way during this couple-game losing streak.
So that will bring up the struggling bat of Riley Terada, who shoots a look down to Scott Pickler at third base. But the Firebirds and the Red Sox scoreless in the bottom of the second. And runs were a premium in last night's ball game. It took till the 8th for YD to score. Here's the first pitch from Skiro. Fastball at the knees on the outside part for strike 1.
In a situation like this, we would have seen Scott Pickler or Kel Nicholson give the bunt sign here and just bunt the 2-man over for a sacrifice.
Spoke to a couple college coaches over the last year or so, and I asked them when they're giving signs at third base, is every pitch they're giving a sign? They said 90% of them are fake signs. Decor signs, they like to call them. 0-1, Terada shows bunt, pops it up behind the dish. Emery sheds the mask. This one hits the top of the screen and runs out of play. A fan makes a stab, and it's 0-2.
So since the fan made a nice catch, that means he's out then, correct?
Yeah, I think so. Now, I heard if the broadcaster makes a catch without anything getting damaged, the inning's over.
Well, there's a ball probably about 2 feet behind me last year. See this little white box right here?
Yeah,
it's probably like a foot or two outside.
Caged in?
No, it's not the bird cage like in Wareham.
It's just white spray paint on the grass. You're throwing all the shots today. Runners on first and second with nobody down. The 0-2. Breaking ball misses low and outside, and it's 1-2.
It wasn't much to be a jab. I was just saying we donned it the bird cage because
Are you ready for this? The YD Red Sox did not venture to Spillane Field once this summer, and they won't unless they play the Wareham Gatemen in the finals. Both of the games they played against Wareham, off the cake. 1-2 the count to Terada. Here's the pitch. Fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. Skiro blows the heater past Terada. It's his second K, and there's one away.
Skiro going upstairs, elevates it a bit there against Terada. And Terada, who's been really struggling, continues here in this ball game. A big spot for him. Runners on first and second and nobody out. Couldn't get the bunt down and then strikes out.
So that pulls Noah Skiro 1 out closer to getting out of this jam. Still 2 on with 1 away, and the Red Sox and the Firebirds scoreless. Jake Palmer, the center fielder from UC Irvine, steps in from the left side. 4 left-handed bats in this lineup tonight for YD, 1 switch hitter. Skiro set the first pitch. Fastball nips the outside corner, 0-1. Palmer 2 for 4 last night with a double. 3 for 7 with a pair of extra base hits against the Firebirds this summer. First team All Big West selection this past season at UC Irvine. 0-1, breaking ball tipped foul, rolls right to the broadcast table, hits the fence, and it's 0-2.
Could have made a play on that one if there was no fence here.
No fence. It was popping maybe a little lower than my left hand was. Alec Hendon said he would have made the play. Now, it's some thick grass right where this media table is. The ball might have stopped before it even got to Alec.
Well, this is like some rough type of grass out here.
I was waiting for the golf reference, and there it is. 0-2. Breaking ball misses low and in, and it's 1-2. Now, when we're talking about UC Irvine, you talk about the anteaters. And now I'm just really egging Thomas on.
Oh.
We've checked off one sport outside of baseball. We've hit golf. Let's see if Thomas hits another.
A little college basketball here.
One with an orange ball and a hoop. There it is.
Yes, sir.
Check number 2. Wold off at first. King on second with 1 away. Here's the 1-2. Fastball rocketed out to left field. Britton on the run. He's in front of the fence. Lines it up. Makes the grab in front of the wall for the second out of the inning. Now, as we jump around some sports, we'd be remiss to not wish a congratulations to the U.S. women's national team for securing another World Cup winner. It's their second in a row. First team since Germany in 03 and 07 to win back-to-back cups.
Well, it's tough because obviously the men's have struggled to make it into the World Cup just this past one. So it's great to see the women's national team having some success, especially not only just making it, but winning the whole thing back-to-back times.
First pitch to Noah Cardenas. Fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. Orleans and YD scoreless with 2 away in the last of the second. Cardenas did not play last night at Eldridge Park, making his first appearance against the Firebirds this summer. Rising sophomore catcher from UCLA. Hitting .316 for the Red Sox. 0-1. Breaking ball drops off the table, misses low, and it's 1-1. Cardenas is from Saugus, California. Now, its sister city is Saugus, Massachusetts, which is about 100 miles from Eldridge Park, for those of you that were wondering.
It's an old industrial type of town or city. Not sure which one it is.
The 1-1, here's the pitch. Fastball chopped over the mound to the right side. Soretti charges on. He'll make the throw on the run to first in time. So after hitting a batter and walking Jack Wold, Noah Skira works his way out of trouble as the Red Sox score no runs on no hits, no errors, and they leave 2 runners left on base. After 2, Orleans and YD scoreless. And let's check in with our good friend, Scotty Gaines. Scotty?
Hey, you're my good friend, buddy. All right, well, as I said at the end of the first inning, we have some fun additions coming on to the Birds Broadcast Network, some different specials that we're doing. And so one of them that we're actually going to start on Wednesday, and it's going to turn into a weekly thing, is Lunches with Kelly. It's going to be at Nauset Grill each week. And I personally, and I say this sincerely, I'm very, very excited for it. What we're going to do is we're going to set up some speakers. If you're in or around the Orleans area, you can come and sit down, enjoy lunch at Nauset Grill, and you can listen to really Kelly and I talk about the season as a whole, talk about his leadership methods, really just for about an hour, talk about everything Kelly Nicholson and the Orleans Firebirds. It's going to be really, really special. It's going to be a fun time. And if you're around the country and can't make it to Nauset Grill, which is fantastic, by the way, I know our director of ops, Mr. TJ King, he said that he loves the Hangover Helper Burger. It's got what is it, TJ? Help me out here. You're right here.
There's too many things. There's too many things on that burger.
Fried egg on it. It's got a hash brown patty on it.
A fried egg and a hash brown patty. That it just sounds fantastic at Nauset Grill. And as I was saying, if you can't make it to the Nauset Grill, then you can find it on our YouTube page, the same one that you're watching this or you're listening to this broadcast on right now. We're going to put it on our website, on the YouTube page, and all that jazz. So it's going to be really exciting. That's Wednesday at noon at Nauset Grill. So can't wait for the first edition of Lunches with Kelly, guys.
Scotty, how do we have to have lunch with you? Kelly Nicholson gets that honor, but how do we set that up?
Oh, you and I get lunch? Dude, we get lunch like every day.
I don't know. That's no. You serious?
We can you want like a sit down like lunch. We can film it.
We won't run it though, right? I don't think people want to see that.
No, I don't think so.
Orleans and Yarmouth, Dennis, scoreless as we head to the top of the third here at Red Wilson Field. Ian Seymour, too strong so far for the Red Sox, has only surrendered 1 hit through the first 7 batters he's faced. And Tanner Murray, the third baseman from UC Davis, will dig in from the right side. Seymour, the southpaw, out of the windup. Here's the first pitch. Bunted right through for strike 1. Seymour strong the first time he faced these Orleans Firebirds. 5 innings of just 2-run baseball. The 0-1. Fastball smacked to the third base side, right to the YD dugout. And it's 0-2. Murray just batting .208 so far this summer, starting to heat up. Went 1 for 3 last night against YD. His lone home run this summer as well came against the Red Sox. Here's the 0-2. Fastball misses off the plate, and it's 1-2. So the Firebirds have been held silent for the last 11 innings against YD. The 1-2. Breaking ball misses low, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. But the way that this Firebirds pitching staff has gone so far this summer, they'll take their chances in pitcher's duel. Firebirds third in ERA at .368. They're first with 5 shutouts. 2-2. Breaking ball stays upstairs, and the count runs full.
Well, it seems like almost every game the Firebirds will get a good and quality start from their starting rotation.
So here's the payoff pitch to Murray. Fastball on the inside corner, called strike 3. Murray just grits his teeth, but it's the 3rd consecutive strikeout for Ian Seymour, his 4th of the night, and there's 1 away.
3-2 pitch and just fastball on the inside corner. Murray unable to pull the trigger. And goes down looking.
So now Zach Daniels, the right fielder from Tennessee, will dig in for his first AB of the night. Here's the first pitch from Seymour. Fastball cut on and missed for strike one. Firebirds and Red Sox scoreless with one away in the top of the third. And the wind blowing in from left field. Now Daniels last night went 0 for 3 with a pair of strikeouts, but boy did he make a heck of a throw. 0-1 fastball misses upstairs, and it's 1-1. If I can call correctly, we're looking at the 7th inning, where Riley King was trying to advance the third on a Tate Samuelson flyout to right. The 1-1 fastball taken outside. Daniels checks his swing. He held up. It's 2-1. And Daniels threw a beeline from right all the way to third base to nab King trying to tag up. And that ended that 7th inning, gave the Birds some momentum as well heading into the home half. 2-1 to Daniels. Fastball cut on and missed, and it's 2-2.
Yeah, a throw like that or just any good defensive play can really fire up your team and the guys on the bench. That was an absolute hose from Zach Daniels yesterday.
An absolutely athletic freak. Seymour shakes off the sign. Here's the 2-2. Breaking ball on the outside corner, strike three. A curveball freezes Daniels, make it 4 Ks in a row by Ian Seymour, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, Seymour just absolutely dealing right now. He's hitting his spots. I'm sure Gardinas behind the dish isn't moving his mitt really that much. Scott Picker calling the game from the third base dugout.
So now the speedster Jacob Hurtubise will bat for the second time tonight. Here's the first pitch. Fastball taken on the outside corner for strike one. Orleans and YD. Now their pitchers duel early at Red Wilson Field. Just one combined hit between the two sides. The 0-1. Hurtubise shows bunt, nubs it off the mask of Cardenas, and it's 0-2. Hurtubise reached base his first time up to his first walk in the Orleans Red. Worked 69 free passes this past season at Army. 0-2. Fastball taken off the plate, and it's 1-2. Not only is he the Patriot League career record holder in stolen bases, yes, he also leads in walks, 141 through 3 seasons. 1-2. Fastball slicing down the left side and out of play, and we'll do it again.
Shows you a bit right there in that pitch. Tough fastball up and in, and just able to get some wood on it just to foul it out of play.
Tough hitter to strike out as well. Just 26 Ks this past season for Army. 1-2. Fastball chopped to the right side, right at the second baseman, R.J. Yeager. Soft toss to first in time, and the side is retired. Make it 5 in a row set down by Ian Seymour, including 4 of the last 5 have gone down via the punch-out. We're through 2.5 at Red Wilson. Firebirds and Red Sox scoreless. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Here's the 1-2 pitch again. It's a breaker that Samuelson just looked like he was swinging a tennis racket at and couldn't make contact. It's the second strikeout of the inning for Wilcox. And they're
going to go back in there to Andrew Abbott. 1-2 fast.
The 1-0 pitch. Fastball catches the inside corner, and it's 1-1. And you
second baseman from Mercer University.
Noah Skiro hasn't surrendered a hit through the first 2 innings. He'll go back out for the third with Orleans and Yarmouth Dennis scoreless. The 9-hole hitter R.J. Yeager digs in from the right side. Here's the first pitch from Noah Skiro. Fastball cut on and missed for strike one. Skiro ran himself into trouble back in the second inning. hit Riley King on just 2 pitches. And then Jack Wold worked a 3-2 walk. The 0-1 breaking ball slapped the other way into right field. Daniels charging in. He'll make the grab on the run with the sunglasses down for the first out of the inning. Make that 4 in a row retired by Noah Skiro, and that's exactly how he got out of the second. He retired the final 3, including striking out Riley Tirado with a high fastball.
Yeah, we've seen some of the opposing starting pitchers over the last 3 or 4 games use kind of situations like that where they're in a tough position, gain some confidence, and then they just start to gain more and more, and they just start dealing on the hill, and it's going to be tough to beat Skiro if he's locked in like this.
So Wyatt Young digs in for the second time. First pitch from Skiro. A breaking ball misses off the plate for ball 1. Young went down looking his first time up. One of 2 strikeouts for Skiro, the first turn around the order. Righty on lefty matchup, the 1-0. Fastball chopped back past the outstretched arm of Skiro to the right side. Being a tough play for Soretti. Throw to first. Stretched by Esquera in time. Danny Soretti charged in. Esquera got him out on the close play at first base. And the Birds defense flexes their muscles. There's 2 away.
And you said exactly right there. The Birds defense flexing their muscles. Had 5 errors in yesterday's ball game. But Soretti making a very similar play to how the second inning ended, where he had to come around the ball and throw across his body on the run. Not an easy play, but Soretti making it look easy out there at second base.
It's now Noah Campbell, the batter. First pitch to him. 12-6 curveball that's taken low for ball 1. The Amoeba strike zone continues behind the plate, with the Firebirds and the Red Sox scoreless with 2 away in the last of the third. 1-0 the count to Campbell. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball in a similar spot, called ball 2.
I guess they're consistent with it.
That's one way to say it. Campbell 0 for 1 tonight. Flew out to center back in the first. 2-0. Fastball misses off the dish. It's 3 balls and no strikes. And Campbell has been an interesting story through his first couple of seasons at the collegiate level. With the wood bat, things have gone well. With the aluminum, they haven't. Probably the opposite of every single other person. 3-0 from Skiro. Fastball runs outside, ball 4, and Campbell will trot down to first base. Just the third base run of the night for YD.
Or maybe Noah Campbell loves to put on a Red Sox uniform, too.
That may also be it.
So maybe the Boston Red Sox should draft him, because then he'll play through all the farm system.
Now, you think maybe it's the color red. Now, he wears red at South Carolina.
A little garnet, a little garnet.
Little garnet?
Yeah.
No, you don't want to call it red.
Yeah, I don't think that's red.
It's a darker red. There's 3 primary colors, aren't there? Red is one of them. It's a darker version of red.
Yeah, but it's garnet.
But it's red.
It is technically red, but, you know.
It is technically red, but...
But it's like calling... It's the same thing with Virginia Tech. It's a maroon type of color. You're calling that basically brown or red then.
Primary colors.
They have different...
different shades. First pitch to Austin Wells. Fastball misses up and away for ball 1. Just fun here, Thomas.
We're talking colors out here. I mean, because the red's like the red on the scoreboard out there. That's the red. Alex agreeing with me here over here.
The red on the Firebirds uniforms today with white pants and white lettering. Red caps, black brims. 1-0. Fastball that ties up Wells. And it's 1-1. The Red Sox today not wearing red, in fact. They're wearing their home whites with red lettering across the chest. And how about these socks from Austin Wells? Sporting the navy blue socks from the left side with white, red, and blue lines near the calves. Skiro check on the runner at first base, and Campbell dives back in. Orleans and YD, nothing doing here with 2 away in the last of the third. Just 1 combined hit between the 2 sides. Skiro set the 1-1. Fastball misses off the plate outside, and it's 2-1. Not a pitcher's friendly strike zone today at Red Wilson Field. I think the hitters would like this strike zone.
It fits in right in with the ballpark, too.
It does. 3:52 to dead central. 2-1. Fastball cut on and missed, and it's 2-2. Now you would wonder why D, as a team, they're built to be hitter first, and their numbers have shown that so far this summer. The Red Sox top 5 in the Cape in average home runs and runs scored. Now they're bottom 5 in earned run average. Second to last, to be exact. 2-2. Fastball on the inside corner, waved out and missed, strike 3. So Skiro gets Wells, his third K, and the side is retired. So YD scores no runs on no hits, no errors, and they leave one runner left on base. After 3, ready for this one. Breaking news. The Orleans Firebirds are in another pitcher's duel, and Kelly Nicholson will come out and have a word before talking to Scotty Gange with Mike Hina, host of the home plate umpire. Scotty, before you talk with Skip, what you seeing right now?
I'm seeing is what you're seeing is just dominance by Skiro on the mound right now. It's another Firebirds game, another pitcher's duel. All right, right here is perfect for you. Coach, we've seen 3 innings through. Skiro has been dominant throughout, and on their side too. What have you learned about Noah today?
He's no Skuro, man. He's just doing what he's been doing, right? He's throwing a good changeup today, and he's keeping the ball down, and he's locating his fastball. And it's a good hitting team over there, and their guy's doing a good job. He's not locating, he can't seem to find his fastball command, but he's doing a good job with his secondary stuff, so we'll see what happens.
One way through the lineup for your side, what would you like to see change offensively?
See us get a couple of string some hits together and then hit a 3-run homer. Like I said, there's never a bad time for a 3-run home run.
There never is, Coach. Thanks so much for the time. Good luck the rest of the way. Appreciate it. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
And thank you, Scotty. Of course, in this ballpark, a 3-run home run is definitely in the works here. If you get,
I love that response.
Yeah.
There's never a bad time for a 3-run homer. I don't care what ballpark you're playing in.
Maybe dead center at Eldred too. We can get a 3-run home run out sometime this year. Out sometime. So here on the top of the 4th inning, it's the Firebirds and the Red Sox at a deadlock here. It's still a scoreless ball game, just like yesterday. Again, all 4 runs in that ball game were scored in the 8th and the 9th inning. Josh Zamora, second time through the order. Start things off on the right side against the southpaw and Ian Seymour. From the lineup, first pitch to Zamora. Change up, and it's put towards the hole on the left side of the infield. Backhanded by Young, throwing across the diamond in time to retire Josh Zamora.
Okay, now I just feel bad for Zamora because that was a good hit ball by Josh to the left side in the hole, and Wyatt Young, again, at all of 5'7", just throws a rocket across the diamond to nail the speedy DH.
He may be 5'7", but he's got some power in that arm, in the hole too, flexing it to the scouts in attendance today. So 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning as Danny Soretti, the switch hitter, will bat from the right side against the left-hander Ian Seymour. Seymour kicks and deals. First pitch fastball runs high and off the mitt of Cardenas behind the dish to the backstop for ball 1.
Okay, and how spot on was Kelly Nicholson? He said that fastball has not been commanded too well by Seymour, but he said he's working his breaking ball stuff. We've seen 2 pitches this inning, fastball off the plate, a breaking ball in the strike zone.
1-0 off speed. Just missing a bit high and outside for ball 2. Count 2-0. Again, stringing a couple hits together. Those are the keys that Nicholson would love to see. 2-0 pitch. Check swing, and Soretti goes around. He knew it right away. Count 2 balls and a strike. Soretti with a smile over on the right side. 0 for 4 last night. Well, before that game was 7 for his previous 16. 2-1 pitch to Soretti. Fastball runs low and inside for ball 3. 3 balls and a strike here on Soretti with 1 down. Firebirds' best chance so far. Probably going back to the 2nd inning. When a runner on second. 3-1 pitch is popped up in the air. Over towards the snack shack on the first base side. Count runs full now at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Soretti is followed by Zach Britton here in the 4th inning. Seymour takes a deep breath on the bump. Gets his side, kicks and fires. The payoff pitch. 3-2 pitch, misses low for ball 4. And Soretti works a brilliant walk here with 1 down in the top of the 4th as he'll trot down to first base for the Firebirds' first base runner in this half inning.
Now, I know Kelly said string together a couple of hits before smacking a 3-run home run, but how about just stringing across a couple of base runners together? A walk is as good as a single with nobody on base, and that's exactly what Soretti does.
Walk, a hit by pitch. I mean, just any way you can get on base, that will do. So Seymour worked from the stretch here against the left-hander Zach Britton. Britton fouls it back to the screen. First strike 1. Count 0-1. Britton his first time around. Check swing on a ball, and accidentally hit into fair ground as it bounced down the third base line. So trying for some redemption here in his second AB. Seymour looks over back at first, kicks and deals. 0-1 pitch. Brandon laces one towards the left center field gap. Coming in as a left fielder in Wells. Did he make the catch? He did not. He traps it down in left field. As Soretti had a pause halfway between first and second, advances towards second base as Yeager, the second baseman, couldn't pick the ball clean after Wells threw it in.
The first baseman.
So here are the couple of hits and I guess walks, we'll put it, coming together as now the Firebirds have runners on first and second with just one down as Scott Picker will come out from the third base dugout to have a chat with the umpire.
What is there to argue here? It bounced down. The umpire said it bounced down. There's no replay in Hyannis. I know we keep vouching for it, but that doesn't exist yet.
It does not exist. So we can't send it to Hyannis. We don't have the headsets on the field. We don't have any of that.
So, and the only reason why I make such a fuss about it is if this was a ballpark with lights, different story. Talk about it as long as you want. There's no lights. We're on a time crunch.
So again, one out. The Firebirds trying to break open this scoreless ball game here in the top of the fourth. As Escada will dig in from the right side. Big spot here for the newly added Firebird. Singled back in his first AB in the second inning. Trying to make some big damage here. First pitch from Seymour, off-speed pitch. Cut on and miss for strike one. Good change up there from Ian Seymour. Seymour so far, 32 strikes, 22 balls, 54 pitches in total. Again, Soretti over at second base, Britton at first. Britton picked up the second hit for the Firebirds in this ballgame. I mentioned Escara with the one other. 0-1 pitch. Escara loops one out towards right field. The right fielder Trotta going back to the track. He can't track it down. It bounces off the wall. Cruising into third base is Soretti as he had to hold up at second to tag up. Well, that's going to be another single here for Escara. And with one, just still nobody out. Or excuse me, one out here in the top of the fourth inning. The bases are now loaded for the Firebirds.
And Torada just tripped over his own 2 feet going back. Got a late read on that ball, got turned around, then got caught up, and then it just dropped down. That might be the longest single you'll see here at Red Wilson Field.
A very long single out there in right center. If we're in Chatham tugging that right field line and maybe had a chance to get out of here, as Eddie McCabe, the shortstop from Georgetown, will dig in from the right side. Big spot here for the Firebirds. Seymour trying to work out of some trouble here in the fourth. First pitch to McCabe, fastball. Spot on the outside corner for strike one. McCabe catching a hot streak as of late, 4 for his last 11. 0 for 2 yesterday, but drove in a run back in Wareham the other day. And Soretti over at third, Brennan at second, and Escala over at first. 0-1 from Seymour. Fastball runs upstairs, almost getting over the mitt of Cardenas behind the dish. We've seen that about 2 or 3 times tonight where a fastball like that almost got away from me and Seymour. So Cardenas using his basketball skills there on the hops. All of his length behind the dish. 1-1 to McCabe. Off-speed pitch located on the inside corner this time. Catches the inside corner for strike two. Count as a ball and 2 strikes. Again, bases loaded here, 1 out in the top of the fourth inning. Still a scoreless ball game. Firebirds trying to break open this ball game. Seymour comes set from the belt. The 1-2 pitch. Off-speed pitch in the dirt. Swung on a miss for strike 3. And Seymour goes back to the off-speed stuff. The pitch that has been so lethal for him today, and records another strikeout.
Yeah, and that's what Seymour does. Again, the numbers necessarily aren't pretty for Seymour as a whole, but he gets himself into jams and then gets out of them and strikes out his fair share of batters. That's K number 6 tonight. It's his 29th K in a little more than 15 innings pitched this summer. That's pretty good.
And he doesn't have his fastball working either today. So that's pretty good from the southpaw of Virginia Tech. So with 2 outs in the inning, it's Rob Emery. The base is loaded. First pitch, curveball. Misses the outside edge for ball 1. Again, that strike zone just narrowed in once again a little bit. As Cardenas looks over towards third base dugout, and that's Scott Picker for the next pitch. .1-0 from Seymour. Fastball waving a miss upstairs. Got 1 ball and 1 strike on Rob Emery. Emery so far 0 for 1, struck out back in the second inning. Try to drive in a pair of birds here. Could score all 3 if a ball is in the gap. 1-1 pitch to Emery, foul tipped into the mid of Cardenas. Count as a ball and 2 strikes. So Seymour, after the bases were loaded with 1 out, trying to work out of a jam here. Get top of the 4th. 2 outs. Serretti over at third, Brennan at second, and Escala over at first. Seymour comes set from the belt as he gets his sign. Takes a deep breath. The 1-2 pitch. Fastball misses above the letters. Emery able to lay off of that one to count 2-2. Firebirds with 2 hits so far in this half inning after Serretti with 1 out reached on a walk. Emery waits the 2-2 pitch. Fastball cut on a miss for strike 3. And Ian Seymour able to work out of a big jam here in the top of the 4th inning. Firebirds, no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 men left on base after 3.5. It's still a scoreless ball game from Red Wilson Field as we'll take a look around the Cape. This is the first game on the Cape at 5 o'clock start time. As over in Falmouth, things just getting underway in the top of the 1st inning.
They are 1 batter in at Gov Fuller Field. Carmen Molinsky, however you want to say his last name, faced 1 batter and, not surprisingly, struck him out on 3 pitches.
And Molchinski pitched against the Firebirds when they were in Falmouth.
Now, the game of the night, in my opinion, of course, besides Orleans and YD, if you make it here to Red Wilson Field, you stay through the game, it'll be over around 8:15. Then venture out a little further west. Go see one of the hottest teams in the Cape. See Hyannis take on Wareham. Don't sleep on those Harbor Hawks, just 3 points out of the final playoff spot in the West.
I'm not sleeping on them, but I don't know if that's the game of the night because.
That's the second game of the night. Here's game 1. That's game 2.
Okay, making sure.
How about this? This is the best game in the East. That's the best game in the West.
I could see that. Yeah, could see that. Chatham and Brewster, though, also playing at 7 o'clock. Another big-time showdown in the East Division. Hyannis and Wareham, as you mentioned, get underway at Spillane Field at 6:30. Cotuit and Bourne at Doran Park, just getting underway by the Rotary. Anybody going to that game? It's going to be a little traffic if you're coming from the eastern part of the Cape as people try to exit off the Cape here on Sunday.
The third baseman from the University of Georgia.
Again, home half of the 4th inning from Red Wilson Field. Firebirds leave the bases loaded in the top half of this inning as Noah Skiro goes back to the hill for the Firebirds. It'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters due up for the YD Red Sox. Riley King, the third baseman, will lead things off from the right side. First pitch from Skiro, fastball upstairs, check swing for ball 1. King was hit by a pitch back in the 2nd inning. So the Red Sox left runners on first and second with nobody out. 1-0 pitch is laced right back up the middle, enter center field for a base hit, and Riley King collects the Red Sox first hit in this ball game here in the 4th inning.
From the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, Jack Thomas Wold.
So Jack Wold, the first baseman, will set the new battle from the left side. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Still scoreless ball game as Riley King started off this half inning with a single. Wold drags his bat across the front end of home plate. Again, for the Red Sox, they're trying to collect a couple base hits and maybe walks here together. First pitch to Wold. Hammers went out towards right center field. Daniels on the run back. They're turning up. It's off the top of the wall in right center field. Daniels hustles and throws it in towards the shortstop, Eddie McCabe. But it's back-to-back base hits here for the Red Sox. Start out this bottom of the fourth inning. They have 2 minutes scoring position with nobody out. So after the single from Riley King, it's a double from Jack Wold. Again, runners on second and third, nobody out here.
Arizona State University, number 10, Eric Tolman.
So Riley Tirada, the right fielder. We'll dig in from the left side.
Yeah, so Tirada is going to be taken out of this ball game. It's going to be a pinch hitter. It's a two-way player from Arizona State, Eric Tolman. He's just taken 6 ABs so far this summer for the Red Sox. 3 for his first 6 with a home run.
So Tolman, the pinch hitter. First pitch fastball runs off the outside edge for ball 1. One of the Sun Devils out of Arizona State. Got a couple Sun Devils here at the field today.
They're waiting for you to say it, Tom.
I knew they were. Alec and Scotty Gange also.
Forks up is what they were waiting for you to say.
Okay, forks up. 1-0 pitch at Tolman. Grounds went up toward the middle. Gets past the second baseman. Ready into center field for a base hit. King comes from third. Comes in to score. Throw goes past a couple cutoff men, but Emery able to knock it down at the dish. So Riley King is driven in from third base, and the Red Sox are on the board here in the fourth inning. They lead 1-0.
Yeah, and are we surprised that Scott Pickler finds the right button to punch, brings in Tolman, delivers an RBI single, and whether it was a combination of the misplay in the outfield by Tirada or just trying to deliver a single in a game where runs are premium, and still the Red Sox are still threatening for more with runners on the corners and nobody down.
So after Tolman's RBI single, it's Jake Palmer. Palmer, who flew out back in the second inning, looks to maybe get another fly ball here. Still nobody out in this half inning. Red Sox now collecting their first 3 base hits in this half inning. First pitch is chopped up the first base side, a foul for strike 1. Get runners on the corners, nobody out here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Red Sox lead the Firebirds by a score of 1-0. And that's what Scott Pickler has done over the years, just pushing the right buttons at the right time. Right-hander Skirl shakes off Rob Emery. As the 0-1 to left-hander Jake Palmer. Curveball outside edge. Catches the zone for strike 2. Count 0-2 on Palmer. Palmer, who has a 3-game hit streak, is 5 for 8 over that span. Takes a deep breath before he re-enters the left side. Skirl looking for a big strikeout here. The 0-2 pitch. Fastball just missing the knees as it dipped down at the last second. Rob Emery, the catcher, tried to bring it up a little, but misses in there for ball 1. Count a ball and 2 strikes. Skirl's pitch count as well. Just under 60 pitches here in this ball game. Here through 3+ innings. 1-2 pitch. Fastball upstairs. A wave and a miss for strike 3. And Skirl strikes out Jake Palmer. A big-time strikeout. As now a ground ball can end this half inning.
Yeah, and that's a good bounce back from Skirl. Was allowed the first 3 base runners to reach with a base hit, and now gets Palmer fishing. And if he can find a way to limit this at 1, that would be a good battle from Skirl to get out of this jam.
Again, runners on the corners with just 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Noah Cardenas will bat from the right side, the catcher. First pitch from Cardenas as he bunts it up the first base line as he'll trickle foul. Trying a safety squeeze there. As he got the sign from Scott Pickler, the third base coach's box.
That was a very nonchalant safety squeeze as well. Cardenas was standing practically straight up, just leaned the tan bat right towards the baseball to nub it up the third base side, beg your pardon, the first base side. And then kind of just stood there in the batter's box before Esqueda touched it in foul ground.
No balls in 1 strike to count here on the catcher from UCLA. Skiro comes set from the belt. The 0-1 pitch. Off-speed misses upstairs. No bunt. This time showed by the catcher. Kind of ball and a strike. Middle infielders playing double play depth. Tanner Murray at third playing back behind the bag. And over at first base, Esqueda holding on the runner at first base. And Eric Tolman. 1-1 pitch is lifted high in the air down the right field side, but it will find the seats down there. Count moves to a ball and 2 strikes.
Can we acknowledge something real quick? Brady, the Red Sox super fan that I think everyone in Yarmouth knows, he's wearing full catcher's gear walking up the third base side. Talk about way to start a rally.
A 1-2 from Skiro. Curveball at the knees for strike 3. Just a nasty pitch there and strikes out Cardenas here. Now there's 2 outs, so back-to-back strikeouts. And going back to Brady. Maybe he's getting ready to warm up a Whitey Red Sox pitcher down there. So we got runners on the corners with 2 away now. Red Sox lead the Firebirds by a score of 1-0. That came off the RBI single from Eric Tolman. Now it's the 9-0 hitter R.J. Yeager, the second baseman from the right side. First pitch fastball check swing. Holds up for ball 1.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised to see the slow start that R.J. Yeager's gotten out to. Just has not done what R.J. Yeager normally does. Hitting a .143, and now this is interesting. It's not Matt Troop to pay a visit to Noah Skiro. It's Kelly Nicholson.
So Kelly Nicholson making his way, started running out of the first base dugout. Now will walk once he gets past the first base line. Has a chat with Rob Emery and Noah Skiro.
Yeah, and this is just a visit. I don't think there's a plan to take Skiro out of this ball game at any stretch of the imagination. I just think he's trying to calm him down. Noah seems a little frustrated with the strike zone, and understandably so. And I think Kelly's going to say, hey, man, I tried vouching for you. Unfortunately, that's kind of what the zone is today. You got to pitch around it.
So Kelly Nicholson will just have a chat, and that is all. As he walks back to the first base dugout. Again, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Runners on the corners as the Red Sox lead the Firebirds by a score of 1-0. 1-0 pitch, runner going towards second base for a second, but Tolman kicks back. Count 2-0. Sun begins to set from Red Wilson Field. Behind the dish is all in the shade now as our broadcast position up the first base line as well. 2-0 off speed, misses high above the letters. Count 3-0. Skiro comes out, kicks and deals. A 3-0 pitch at the knees for strike 1 as Tolman will cruise into second base with a stolen base. So now runners on second and third with 2 outs as the force out at second is not there anymore. It's the 3-1 pitch swung on and foul tipped in the mid of Rob Emery. And Skiro trying to work backwards in the count. After fall behind 3-0 has worked it. Now 3 balls and 2 strikes. The 3-2 pitch. Curveball inside corner for strike 3. 3 straight strikeouts by Noah Skiro, and he limits the damage at just 1 run here in the 4th inning. The Red Sox, they strike for 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 men left on base here. After 4, it's the Red Sox 1, the Firebirds nothing. Listen to Firebirds baseball. As we're actually going to send it to our silent reporter, Scotty. Scotty, take it away.
Kind of a last-minute add-in, Thomas. Something I like to always point out is the fact that after big plays like that on the pitcher's end, it's so cool for me to kind of watch them make their way off. Sometimes guys are doing the whole fist bumps. You know, I'm a big San Diego Padres guy. A guy like Chris Paddock will go out. He'll be throwing fist bumps. He'll be screaming in the air, pumped up. But Noah Skiro, it kind of tells a lot about his character on the mound because he's just cool, calm, and collected. Of course, you could see he was pumped up about that, getting 3 guys out with 2 men on, keeping this a ball game. But he comes out and slowly but surely he's just got that game face. Everybody's giving him fist bumps. They're giving him the O's as he's walking in. Kelly Nicholson was one of the first guys to give him a handshake right as he was coming into the dugout. I want to believe that means that his day is done. But it was just really cool to see, and I think that's always exciting to see for a guy. And also something we've got to break down, as we love to do after the 4th inning, is break down Land Ho. Land Ho is a proud supporter, proud sponsor of the Orleans Firebirds. We've said it a number of times. The chicken parm, it's Connor Pellerin. It's his favorite meal. He might actually make his way out into the field today. He pitched 2 days ago, but Connor Pellerin lives and dies by the chicken parm at the Land Ho, and it's just fantastic. Run and owned by the Murphy family for 50-plus years, which I think is by far the coolest part. You know, I being from the West Coast, I hear about these places that are actually family-owned, and it's almost kind of like just straight out of a movie. But Land Ho, it's a place that's family-owned and proudly family-owned for 50-plus years by the Murphy family. It's right here in Orleans, Massachusetts. It's really fun. So if you're a family listening in, streaming our game, and you want a place to go with your family, with your son if he's playing ball here after the game, go to Land Ho. It's really good. It's a fun place to be. Get the chicken parm. I didn't tell you to get that. Connor Pellerin did, but it's very, very good. And I think we all know our favorite line in all of Orleans Firebirds broadcasting. When you go to the Land Ho, you hit a ho-ho home run. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Well, thank you, Scotty. That was fantastic as always. And from one fantastic thing to another, we welcome you back here to Red Wilson Field with the Red Sox leading the Firebirds 1-0. But we are joined by a fantastic guest, Chris Constantine. How's everything going?
Excellent. How are you?
Good. Good. Everything is going well. Welcome back to Cape Cod. You spent 3 summers?
4.
4 summers
Going
with the
on
Orleans
5,
Firebirds.
yeah.
Going on 5. Now you're working in the Angels organization as an outfield and base running coach.
Right.
Coordinator? Coach?
Coordinator.
Coordinator.
Same thing. Yeah.
Is it?
A little bit.
Okay. First pitch to Tanner Murray. Fastball taken in there for a strike. So in Orleans, you worked as the hitting coach. You worked as a base running coach. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball cut on and missed, and it's 0-2. How's the adjustment been to going from Cape Cod to the Angels organization?
There's a bit of an adjustment, but I was fortunate in that the Angels organization is full of great people, just like here in Orleans. And everything that we did with Kelly, he does such a tremendous job of getting these guys ready for the next chapter in their lives and approaching every day like a new day and kind of taking everything that's important for them and being able to take that, what we do here, and take it to the Angels, easy transition.
The 0-2 to Murray, smacked down the right side, not a play, and we'll do it again. Red Sox leading the Firebirds 1-0 after scratching across a run in the last half inning, but Noah Skiro getting out of the jam with 3 straight punch-outs. Seymour nods the cap. Wheels and deals. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball smacked up in the air on the right side of the infield. First baseman Jack Wald calling for it. Called off by R.J. Yeager. He makes the catch for the first out of the inning. So the thing that I think I missed the most of CC, actually there's 2 things. One is there is no man that said birds are hot with a bigger smile on his face. And then number 2 is the tweeting. Where's the tweeting gone?
The tweeting?
Yes.
Oh.
If anyone right now, and we're going to plug it, I don't know the exact Twitter handle off the top of my head. It's Chris Const, C-O-N-S-T 22.
That's right.
There were some fantastic tweets with GIFs. First pitch to Zach Daniels, fastball misses low and outside.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I haven't been on Twitter in a while.
I think I just looked quickly before you came over. I think it's been since last October.
Yeah, it's probably been close to that. I used to like it, especially when I was here. It was a good way to keep in touch with guys and kind of just pump info out there for kind of thought-provoking and stick with guys after they left here. But that's funny you bring that up. No, I've been kind of dormant on that.
One thing that I know as well, you're big on mental reps. And I can remember a certain GIF of Charlie Blackmon in the on-deck circle getting ready to take swings and timing it up with the guy in the cage.
Right.
The 1-1 breaking ball waved out and missed, and it's 1-2. I just miss it.
I think that especially here, when you're playing so much, there's so much to be said for just getting mental reps and making sure that you're in the right frame of mind every pitch to compete and kind of separate and move forward.
Daniels chokes up on the bat. Here's the 1-2. Fastball taken upstairs, and it's 2-2. Now, you were with the Birds through some highs and some lows. We'll talk about the highs mainly. We won't need to talk about too much. But how fun was it to come to Cape Cod and work with a coaching staff with Kelly Nicholson, Jamie Quinn, Giuseppe Vapaccio last year, bunch of guys over the years.
Mark Hallberg back in the day, Benny Craig, Bill Bray. I mean, it was crazy up here, the number of coaches that we've had that have been really successful that have come through here, and that all starts with Kelly. He's the best. I'll never forget my first year here. I think I learned more from the coaches than I ever had in my 12 to 15 years of playing prior to that throughout my whole career. So there's something special about here and the way Kelly runs things and the people that he attracts to come in that kind of makes it like a bean pot for knowledge. It makes it really fun.
First pitch to Jacob Hurtubise, his fastball taken outside. A call to strike, 0-1, with the Red Sox leading the Firebirds 1-0 with 2 away in the top of the 5th. Here's the 0-1 from Seymour. Fastball smacked back, and it's 0-2. So Kelly Nicholson, I don't know if you know this. He's in his 15th season as manager, 19th with the organization. He's 3 wins shy of 350.
Really?
In the regular season. Now, none of it is about winning to him, as you know. What does that say about Skip as a person?
Oh, he's the best. He does everything the right way. That's funny because I remember when he got his 300th win, I think. That was a couple years ago. I remember that.
You're old.
Yeah,
You're
right?
pretty old, right?
It might have been my first year or second year. I'm not even sure. But, yeah, I remember his 300th win. We had a little cake for him, and he had no idea even what number it was.
1-2, fastball fouled off by Hurtubise, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, he's just really in it for the guys, which is awesome. And that's something that's always stuck with me as I move forward, too, is that he goes about it treating people the right way and is in it for the person as opposed to just the player. And I think that really shows in how he runs things up here.
The 1-2 from Seymour. Fastball misses off the black, and it's 2-2. Now, I got to ask you, and I'm sure you get the question a lot. You work as an outfield and base running coordinator with the Angels. Mike Trout is poster boy when it comes to the Angels.
Right.
How cool is it working with Mike Trout?
Oh, it's awesome. He's a great player, but he's an unbelievable person. I don't think it probably comes easy to him watching, but he works really hard in everything he does, and he's always competing in everything that he does. And for me, I was fortunate to be around him, especially as a first-year coordinator in professional baseball. For my first spring training, to be with somebody like that was pretty special.
So the Firebirds trailing 1-0. The 2-2 from Seymour. Breaking ball misses outside, and it's 3-2. Our fantastic beat writer Alec Hendon wants to mention he spends time in Tempe.
What a place.
Tempe, Arizona.
Tempe, Arizona. Arizona State Sun Devils.
Oh, gross. Payoff pitch. Fastball cut on a missed strike. 3.
Home of the Tempe Diablo Angels spring training, as you said.
There it is. So the Birds go down in order here in the top of the 5th. But we're going to keep it here to chat.
That's all right. Birds are hot.
The Birds are always hot, according to George Constantine.
Right.
We're going to chat, because why not?
Why not?
Right? And now I blanked on what I was going to ask you, to be completely honest. But so we talked about Mike Trout and that experience. How long are you on Cape Cod for, man?
I got another couple of days here. It's good, kind of the way my schedule works out. I get to come up here for a little bit. Been up here for about the last week. And then probably come up again one more time towards the end of July, right in time for playoffs.
Wow, I love it. I love the dedication to the Birds. He loves the Birds.
Love the Birds.
You're a big Birds supporter.
That's one thing that's been really cool, too, once you get kind of past here and into professional baseball and kind of making your rounds a little bit. You see that the Birds family kind of extends past well beyond just their year here in the Cape. Kelly does a reunion every summer or every spring training down in Tempe. And it's really cool to see the number of guys that come back and show up. Whether it's 5 years, whether it's 2 years, 10 years after they finish playing here, you can see that this place kind of sticks with them. And it's kind of like a little fraternity as you keep moving forward.
So now when you come to Cape Cod, what are some of your favorite things to do besides watch baseball?
Oh, man. Check out the Birds first and foremost, then just spend some good time at the beach. Like the beach, one thing I started doing is going for bike rides, so I'm kind of in on that
Wow.
now. Yeah.
Wow.
No long walks on the beach, but some good bike rides. And then a good lobster roll.
Okay, where's
Can't
the
go
place
wrong
to
with
get
that.
a good lobster roll?
Oh, the Raw Bar in Hyannis.
Wow.
Right at the boat docks. I think they have the biggest lobster roll in the country.
That's a lot of praise. That is. Best lobster roll in the country.
I think it might be. It might be the biggest, too. They do a really good job.
Wow. So Noah Skiro heads back out there for the last of the 5th, with the Red Sox leading the Firebirds 1-0. First pitch to Wyatt Young, breaking ball on the outside corner for strike 1. Young 0 for 2 today, struck out looking his first time up. And CC, I know you haven't seen too much of this ball game, got here a couple innings ago. But the 0-1 to Young, breaking ball, he goes fishing, it's 0-2. Wyatt Young at 5'7", leads the Cape Cod Baseball League in hitting coming into tonight.
Really?
He's batting .389 before this evening's ball game.
What school?
Pepperdine.
Nice.
Played with Quincy McAfee.
Oh,
Old
yeah.
Orleans Firebird.
Yes, former Orleans Firebird.
The
I
0-2.
think that's some standard West Coast baseball that you can expect, right?
Yeah.
Guys with some good barrel awareness, just peppering it around the field.
What hair Quincy has, too. Playing some pro ball.
Some good hair?
Some good hair.
I have not seen his hair. I got to check it on his hair.
Do you not remember his hair from last summer?
I remember his hair from last summer.
Yeah,
I don't know
oh,
if
it
he had
looked
a
like
new
that.
do or
No,
something.
same style.
No, I'll have to check it out.
1-2, misses off the plate, and it's 2-2. One of my favorite things, too, he also wore the goggles.
Right,
as well.
he had the goggles.
That made it look awesome. 2-2, breaking ball flared down the left side, and we'll do it again.
Yeah, one thing about the goggles, if you're going to wear the goggles, you got to be pretty good. And he was pretty good, so
He
it
was.
worked out well for
He
him.
was pretty good. That helps. So now what I was going to ask you, though, you work as a hitting coach here in Orleans. Break down Wyatt Young's swing for me. What makes him such an effective hitter? I'm putting you right on the spot.
Right, I haven't talked hitting in a long time.
Oh, here it comes, though. Bring it back.
Well, to start looking right there, he just took a pitch, but he looks pretty, for starters, he walks up to the plate pretty confident. He looks like he knows what he's going to do. Looks like he's confident in his swing, knows kind of what pitches he wants. He looks like he has good feel for the strike zone. Balanced as he goes right there.
3-2 to Skiro, slap to the right side, right at the second baseman, Danny Soretti. Shuffles to his left, throw on to first for the 4-3 putout.
And he ran hard down the line, so you got to love that too.
That's about a scout's dream right there. Running hard in and out.
Right.
Now, I don't know if you remember.
Noah, yeah, he was up here last year,
Yes,
right?
he was. That's what I was going to ask you. Now we're giving you a head start.
There we go. I don't remember. I think he had a lot of home runs last year, right?
He had a good summer. He hit above 300 with the Wood last summer. He's hitting above 300 again with the Wood in the YD uniform. First pitch, fastball taken low and in for ball one. But listen to this. With the aluminum bat at South Carolina, has not scratched across 250.
Interesting.
What does that say you about a hitter?
That's tough. I mean, there's a lot of factors that can go into that, right? I mean, we have a little bit smaller of a ballpark here in YD, so maybe that's a factor. Some balls are squeaking out that might not in real during the year. But then I think just the atmosphere of being up here versus at school might play a factor, or maybe just a little more lucky up here. Who knows? I think there's a lot of factors that can go into it, though, that's for sure.
The 1-1 from Skiro, breaking ball that makes Campbell look foolish, and it's 1-2.
I will say this is pretty impressive how you can go mid-conversation, go back to what's going on the field, and then come back on. That's good.
Skiro's retired the last four, with one away in the last of the fifth, with the Red Sox leading the Firebirds 1-0. 1-2, Breaker misses up and away, and it's 2-2. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words.
It's good. This is not your first rodeo.
No. We've chatted on the radio before as well.
We have.
2-2, Breaker bounces low, and it's 3-2. Now, I think it's happier times for Chris Constantine right now. Big smile on your face.
Oh, it's always happy times here.
That's true.
And we were saying before, I think you guys would always find me after a loss somehow.
Yeah, we would.
It'd be whether we just lost on a walk-off or what. I felt like I was always the one getting grabbed aside for a nice post-game interview.
3-2 fouled back, and we'll do it again. You just always a happy-go-lucky guy. That might be the one negative of being so happy and so positive.
Right, you're the one that No, it's hard not to be happy up here. It's nice out, that's for sure.
Matt Troop in a very similar regard. I know you and him have gotten to know each other since you've been up here. How about your good friend Jamie Quinn?
Jamie Quinn looks good over in the third base box. I like to give him a hard time always that the foul lines aren't too straight because he's really meticulous on how he does that. They probably are the straightest lines on the Cape, but if you run into him, tell him his lines aren't too straight. And
I'll make sure I do that the next time I talk to Q.
What we should do is next time you get him on air in an interview, you should just throw that curveball at him and see how he does.
So Q, great win tonight. The foul lines weren't straight, but what do you think of the Birds' performance?
Perfect, exactly.
Is it just seamless like that?
Seamless, right like that, and see what we get.
But
no, his foul lines are straight. I will give him that.
It's Red Sox 1, Orleans nothing, with a runner on first and one away here in the fifth. First pitch to Austin Wells, fastball rocketed back for strike one. Why don't we chat about some former Birds as well?
Let's go former Birds. We had
Why
a good
not?
draft this year, right?
There was a very good draft. A player, and I'm going to give you all the credit on this one.
Oh, don't even do it.
You know where I'm going, right? J.J. Bledare of Vanderbilt, taken 4th overall. He made a huge jump in power. Went from 5 homers to 27. And the last hitting coach he worked with, 0-1, breaking ball, hit in the air down the left side. Third baseman Murray giving chase over his shoulder, and the Red Sox bullpen lays out and is unable to make the grab. Fantastic effort from Murray, racing all the way to the left field bullpen, but it's 0-2. The last hitting coach he worked with, I just want to set the record straight. The last hitting coach he worked with before heading to Vanderbilt was named Chris Constantine.
Absolutely nothing to do with it.
Wow. Nothing.
He is a unbelievably talented player. Even last summer, it was crazy. He was able to separate so well. You'd see him; he was consistently on time for everything, and he'd make adjustments really well. And kind of just his attitude and approach. I remember sitting here, we'd be like, "Man, that guy is something special." And sure enough, he gets top prospect in the Cape that summer, and then goes on to get 4th overall.
Campbell aboard at first with 1 away. 0-2 to Wells, fouled back, and we'll do it again. So he was the first bird off the board, if I'm not mistaken, and there were only 3 guys ahead of him. Not hard to do. Then Logan Wyatt, first baseman from Louisville, went in the second round to the San Francisco Giants. What can you say about Logan?
Awesome player. Really, really good with the bat. Big, strong guy at first base. Didn't strike out much, a lot of walks, but here's a fun fact for you. With the Giants, he's going to go to, if he goes to the short season in Salem-Kaiser, he'll be playing for former Birds player and coach Mark Hallberg.
Wow, that's fun.
Who is there right now and has Jeff Hopeby, who was a shortstop here 2 years ago.
Wow, the Birds connection runs deep.
Birds connection's running deep.
The pipeline, baby. So Noah Skiro fans, Austin Wells, Kelly Nicholson will come out of the dugout to take the ball. A job well done by Noah Skiro, who holds the Red Sox to 1. He is responsible for Noah Campbell at first, but racks up 7 Ks in 4 2/3. We'll keep it here and chat with Chris Constantine some more. So we went through JJ, we went through Logan. The next pick, and let's see how good I can make this. We go to round 3.
Round 3.
There were a couple guys taking round 3. 3rd round, 95th overall. An outfielder from Arizona, Matt Frazier.
Awesome. I was really happy to see that one. I loved that one. He was the awesome thing about Matty Frazier is he kind of had an up and down season last year. Right, struggled a little bit as the summer went on, but he'd always show up to the field consistent, and always took pride in his defense. Would always show up to early hitting. Always wanted to get better. And if you remember correctly, last year he had a walk-off on the last game of the year.
The Birds left the season hot.
Oh, that was awesome. And then I know he had an awesome start to the year, broke his hamate, maybe like 20 games in, missed a lot. And to see him go in the 3rd round, that was awesome. Really happy for him.
So we've talked about 3 hitters, the first 3 Birds off the board. The next one's a pitcher, 2 picks later. Levi Stout, right-hander from Lehigh. Levi from Lehigh.
Right. Impressive arm. Really good. Competed well. He was up here. It was him and Noah. If you remember, then they kind of went at each other in the Patriot League standings throughout this year. So to have both those guys up here was really special. Who went after him?
Then, if I'm not mistaken, again, this is all off.
This is impressive.
Unprepared. I was not expecting this at all.
Right off the cuff.
4th round, the Tampa Bay Rays. Graham Stinson, left-hander from Duke.
The big donkey.
Oh, no. Oh, I missed one. I'm bad. Oh, this is
Did
bad.
you miss Noah?
No, I missed Spencer Steer.
Oh.
From Oregon, another 3rd-round pick to the Twins before Frazier and Stout.
That's good. That's really good. Oh, do you have it up right there, too, next to
Oh,
us?
now
here
we're
we go.
cheating.
Now we can fact check.
Now we're cheating. So we went from JJ, Logan, Spencer, Matt Frazier, Levi Stout, Graham Stinson. Jax Groshans was in the 5th.
Right.
When did Noah Song go?
Noah Song went in the 4th. I think
Okay,
he was
so
the
he
last
was
pick
also
of the 4th.
So he was right before Groshans. And Noah got some great news yesterday. He will be able to go play short season A-ball and is in the Red Sox organization. He was in uniform last night.
I think, yeah, he just signed yesterday.
Yeah,
is that right?
He just signed and he was in uniform.
Awesome.
First
He'll
pitch
be with Jax Groshans as well. I think the 2 of them are together there.
First pitch from Chase Wallace, who enters the ball game, fouled off by Riley King. Campbell was in motion. He'll have to trot back to first base, with the Red Sox leading the Firebirds 1-0. So now we're through the 5th. That was all the Birds taken in the top 5 rounds. Groshans was the last one taken. Now there was a layoff. I think there was a layoff for a little bit. I know there's one more guy in the top 10 for sure. For sure. And I know he's in the 9th round. But there's one in the 6th that I'm blanking on. The 9th round person I'm thinking is Phil Clark, draft-eligible sophomore catcher from Vanderbilt.
We had Yeah, then Steven Scott.
Steven Scott also from Vandy
Ethan
the year
Paul.
before. Ethan Paul as well. Birds from the summer prior. 0-1 pitch out from Wallace. Throw down from Emery.
love that.
Not in time. So a good slide from Noah Campbell beats the throw from Emery. The Birds had it lined up perfect on the pitch out, but Campbell slides in safely.
Good call on the pitch out by the skipper there.
Yeah, good. Veteran skip move.
Veteran skip move. He's locked in. He knows what he's doing.
So we're going to let our producer, Bryce Johnson, reveal the secret. Who's the sixth
Aaron
round pick?
Oceanbine.
Oh, what
Is
a
it?
pitcher. CC. Big
Had to
right-hander
dig
from
deep for
Eastern
that one.
Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
One of the best relievers in the country.
Oh,
1-1, chopped over the head of Wallace to the left side. Tough play for the shortstop, McCabe. On the run in time. So Chase Wallace comes in with a runner on first and gets the Birds out of the jam as the Red Sox score no runs on no hits, no errors, and they leave one runner left on base. CC, it's been a complete inning. We had a pitching change. It was a blast.
blast.
I think Thomas Cinzerella's coming back.
Oh,
He
man.
might be a little jealous that you're going to take his job one day.
Now, where's he? He's doing
WEEI up there. He's famous already.
good for. He's impressive too.
He
All
is.
you guys do a really good job.
Thank you for the kind words. We thank you for the time. We hope you enjoy your time on Cape Cod.
We'll do this again.
Are there any 3 words you want to utter before you leave?
Oh man, what could be 3 words? Maybe the Birds are hot.
That's the one
Birds
I was
are
looking
hot.
for. Thank you, CC.
Thank you.
That was Chris Constantine, an Angels outfield and base running coordinator, former 4-year assistant coach with the Orleans Firebirds. We'll take a short break here at Red Wilson Field with the Red Sox on top of Orleans. 1-0 goes into Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Okay, if you were to make a Firebirds jersey, a new one, an
Okay.
alternate Firebirds jersey.
Okay, I'd go all out on it. You
Okay.
know, I'd take the Firebirds. You know, I'd build the Flames from the bottom. Of course, Flames, because I saw my buddy. He would go. It was in the Northwoods. They had the Star Wars night. Joey, shout out.
And they
Joey.
made Star Wars jerseys.
And
didn't
they made like these kind of cool Star Wars. I'm pretty sure it was Star Wars. It was like a little Chewbacca, if I remember it correctly.
Yeah.
Of that, so like Firebirds, if it was like one of those nights, I'd build like the flames come from the bottom, and then like some crazy big bird like across the front of it, like with
Wow.
like some along those lines.
Keep going. I need this.
And then I get the back of it. That's where it'd say Firebird. Sit on the back where like your last name would go.
Nice.
I've had the number down here.
What's the font look like on the back?
The font.
Is it sleek or is it
probably,
like flames going out of it?
Probably a little sleek design, pretty sharp.
Pointy edges.
Yeah, pointy edges.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. And then.
Dude, we should sell this to the team. This is
what else would it have? You got that. You got the bird. Firebirds on the back. I feel like it would be either a black base kind of jersey with the flames going up, or it'd be kind of a red with like the flames. So we kind of go that way, but probably more of the black area.
Oh my
of it.
goodness.
And I think that's probably what it'd be. I mean, it'd definitely be a little
pants.
bit more.
And the
Pants.
socks. Are we high socks? Is it flame socks?
I'd say low pants for this one. Don't want
Okay.
to show it off
Baggy
too
or kind
much.
of like a little tighter?
A little tighter.
Okay.
But
That's
if
a
you
clean
did,
look.
yeah, if you did have socks, it'd probably be like.
Orleans trails Yarmouth Dennis 1-0 as we head to the top of the 6th here at Red Wilson Field. New pitcher into the ball game for the Red Sox. First pitch to Josh Zamora. Breaking ball bounces low for ball 1. New pitcher is Brandon Dufault, the big right-hander from Northeastern. 6'5", $195. So the day is done for Ian Seymour, who threw 5 spectacular innings. 1-0. Fastball fouled off the mask of Cardenas, and it's 1-1. So let's give you the final line on Ian Seymour. He went 5 shutout innings, surrendered 3 hits, 2 walks, and struck out 9. That matches the total he had the first time facing Orleans this summer. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 for the Birds in the 6th, with Soretti and Britton to follow. 1-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Fastball runs in, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Zamora 0 for 2 tonight. He's just 3 for his last 32. But a big-time season at Nevada Reno in the spring. Hit above the 330 mark, leading Nevada in hitting. 2-1, fastball misses up and in. It's 3 balls and 1 strike. So the Red Sox leading the Firebirds 1-0 in the top of the 6th. Default set, a deep breath. Here's the 3-1. Fastball sky down the left side. Cardenas gives chase. This runs out of play. And the count runs full. So Orleans has now been kept silent by YD over the last 14 innings in this home and home during the weekend. This is the midway point of the summer. Here's 3-2. Fastball popped on the right side. Cardenas giving chase. Now runs out of room. Looks up, a souvenir for a fan. Over the bleachers, picked up by a little kid. And the count stays at 3-2. So I think Chris Constantine would be a little disappointed with the lack of tracking of a fly ball on that one from the fans at Red Wilson Field. They did not read it too well off the bat.
I didn't even see it, to be honest, either. I lost it.
Here's the 3-2. Breaking ball just misses outside. Ball 4. Zamora is aboard for the first time tonight. And the Birds a leadoff base runner in the 6th. So just 6 combined hits here at Red Wilson Field. And now the switch-hitting second baseman Danny Soretti will dig in. And we'll see what Kelly Nicholson elects to do right here. Orleans have a leadoff base runner on here in the 6th, trailing 1-0. Soretti 0 for 1 tonight, struck out swinging in the 1st, but drew a walk in the 4th. Default comes set, checks on Zamora at first. Soretti from the left side. Here's the first pitch. Fastball taken on the inside corner, called strike 1. Soretti hit from the right side his first 2 times up tonight off the southpaw Seymour. Now will bat for the left for the first time tonight. Danny batting .226 so far this summer, making his 10th start for the Firebirds. Default a deep breath, 0-1. Breaking ball catches the outside corner, and it's 0-2. And Soretti shakes his head and walks towards the Orleans dugout. We'll have to get back in. Soretti an ACC all-freshman team selection this past season for the Tar Heels. Zamora extending his lead at first. Soretti grabs some dirt from the left side, rubs the gloves together. Here's the 0-2. Fastball misses off the plate, and it's 1-2. So a chance for Orleans, who have been held quiet across the first 14 innings of this home and home, to try and get on the board. They trail the Red Sox 1-0 here in the top of the 6th. Default set at the chest.
Were you up here last year or no? I wasn't. With any other team, no.
And Soretti calls time after default fires. Zach Britton to follow in this inning for Orleans, the left fielder from the University of Louisville, waiting on deck. And if Orleans can get it to Trevin Esqueda, he's been red hot in his Orleans debut. 2 for 2. 1-2 the count to the 3-hole hitter Soretti. Here's the pitch. Fastball runs off the dish, and it's 2-2. So far this summer, and you wonder, a switch hitter, how they fare on both sides. Soretti against right-handed pitching, so meaning he's batting as a lefty. He hits .261. Has driven in all 3 runs this summer from the left side. The 2-2. Fastball smacked to the left side, right at the shortstop. Young gobbles it up, underhand flip to Yeager. On to first, a 6-4-3 double play. So Soretti hit the ball hard, but right at the shortstop, Young, who turned it quick to Yeager for the twin killing. So 2 away in the top of the 6th, and Zach Britton will dig in. Britton 1 for 2, singled his last time up. We were chatting with Chris Constantine in the last inning, and we were talking about Logan Wyatt, a Louisville first baseman. He might be the next Louisville first baseman, Zach Britton. First pitch, fastball swung on and lined down the left side for strike 1. Britton a natural catcher, but with Henry Davis behind the dish. Britton has played some corner outfield, and we'll probably see some action over at first, with Wyatt now at the next level in the Giants organization. Righty on lefty matchup. Default set, the 0-1. Breaking ball bounces low, and it's 1-1. Trevin Esqueda waits on deck, the first baseman from Loyola Marymount. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Britton, a rising junior for the Cardinals this past season. Hit .288 with 5 homers for Louisville. The 1-1. Breaking ball skips in, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Red Sox 1, Firebirds nothing here with 2 away in the top of the 6th. Britton snapped a 5-game hit streak last night with an 0 for 3 at the dish. Number 1 catcher out of Indiana in his class, but has now shifted to one of the corners. 2-1. Fastball fouled back to the screen, and it's 2-2. Birds offense with 3 hits so far tonight, and what's a hitter-friendly ballpark. And Firebirds offense as of late has gotten off the slow starts and then responded late in ball games. 2-2 the count with 2 away to Zach Britton. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball on the inside corner, strike 3 call. The default paint, a curveball in the inner half. Britton goes down looking, and the side is retired. So the Firebirds are able to get a leadoff base runner on. It's erased by a double play, as Orleans scores no runs on no hits, no errors, and they leave nobody left on base. After 5.5, it's Red Sox 1, Orleans nothing. Listen to Firebirds baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Home half of the 6th inning from Red Wilson Field. It's the Red Sox leading the Firebirds by a score of 1-0. Again, this game has a big impact on the East Division standings. Chatham 14-7-1 with 29 points. Waddy 13-7-1 with 27 points. The Firebirds currently tied with Brewster with 24 points. Orleans 11-8-2. The Whitecaps 10-10-1. And then Harwich at the bottom of these standings at 10-12 with 20 points. Jack Wood, the first baseman, will stand in from the left side. So far, a walk and a double. He's been hard to keep off the base pass so far. First pitch from Chase Wallace, cut on a miss for strike 1. Wallace came in for Noah Skuro that last half inning. Takes a deep breath, kicks and deals. The 0-1. Two-seam fastball just runs up and out of the zone. Check swing by Wold, but able to hold up. Kind of ball and a strike here. And the Red Sox got that 1 run back in the 4th inning. But they only able to get 1, and they left the bases loaded as the 1-1 pitch is a cut on a miss. Pitch in the dirt, kind of ball and 2 strikes. Bases were loaded after the RBI single from Eric Tolman, and then Skuro struck out the side. And it's been 1-0 ever since. Ball and 2 strikes. Wallace kicks and deals. Off speed in the dirt. Misses inside for ball 2 as it will make its way to the backstop. Count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two from Wallace. Fastball outside corner, strike 3. Wold reach for a pitch on the outer half of the plate as he goes down swinging. First time tonight he's been put down. So 1 out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Red Sox lead the Firebirds by a score of 1-0. And of course it's another pitcher's duel here. Only 6 combined hits so far through 5 half innings. And a little bit of change on the side with 1 out. So almost 6 innings and only 6 hits combined. Eric Tolman, who came in the game for Riley Terrata back in the 4th inning. First pitch at the knees for strike 1, and Scott Picker pressed the right button. Eric Tolman delivered the key base knock that drove in the lone run for the Red Sox. It's the big left-hander facing the right-hander pitcher, Chase Wallace. Wallace kicks and deals. The 0-1. Comes back right another fastball to the inside half of the plate. Count 0-2 on Tolman. Chase Wallace pounding the zone early here in this outing. Wallace, deep breath once more. The 0-2 pitch. It's nubbed up the first base line as Esquera fields it. Will step on the bag himself. 2 up, 2 down so far here in the bottom of the 6th inning. So Esquera again, who pitched 5 scoreless innings, 3 hits, no runs. Pitched 4 2/3, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 3 walks, and 7 punch-outs. Again, has given way to Chase Wallace here, who has 2 outs here in the home half of the 6th inning. Jake Palmer, the center fielder, takes the first pitch on the other half of the plate for ball 1. Palmer so far a flyout victim and struck out back in the 4th inning. That was the first of the 3 straight punch-outs by Noah Esquero. Wallace from the stretch, the 1-0 to the left-hander Palmer. Fastball just missing a bit low and in for ball 2. 2-0 the count. Again, Palmer working on a 3-game hit streak. That is at jeopardy right now. As the sun continues to set here from Red Wilson Field. Left side of the infield is almost fully in the shade. 2-0 pitch outside corner for strike 1. 2 balls and a strike on Palmer. Again, 1-0 Red Sox lead here in the bottom of the 6th. Nobody on, 2 outs here. As Wallace looks to work through a scoreless 6th inning. 2-1. A pitch is hit high in the air towards straightaway center field. Coming in center fielder Hurtubise. As will give way to Eddie McCabe, who comes in, slides down to a knee, and makes the silky smooth catch out in center field. Eddie McCabe, that's one way to end this 6th inning here at Red Wilson Field. As the Red Sox won the Firebirds 0. We're going to send it back over to our sideline reporter, Scotty Gaines. Scotty?
Well, thanks, man. I hope you can hear us as far, I guess you should say, as possible, right, Alex?
Yeah, we're out here. We're deep. We're in the woods.
We are in the woods. Gagne, the man behind the lens. If you follow us on Twitter, what's your Twitter handle before we go?
Alex Gagne Photo.
At Alex Gagne Photo.
Staffed by emergency room physicians.
Just off of our, I guess, distance that we can go. But I do want to ask you, just in kind of your background and how you got into photography and all that.
Yeah, I studied photography, went to RIT, and then just been doing it ever since, like shooting for the Wall Street Journal, ESPN, and been shooting the birds for about 9 years now, and love it every summer.
You talk about shooting the birds, but you also, I know you do lots of cool stuff like, different Bloomberg stuff, Wall Street Journal. What's the coolest event you'd say you've ever photographed?
I shot the PGA Championship this year at Bethpage Black in New York, shooting Brooks Koepka. That was pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah, but the birds, can't beat it, man. It's a lot of talent. Kids are hungry, so it's always interesting to see the up-and-comers,
Yeah, I know you like, you get such great access here, but what's, away from that, shooting the birds, being so close to the special Cape Cod Baseball League, what's the coolest part for you?
It's everybody involved, everyone from like Kelly to Sue Horton, the general manager, all the people that just kind of organize the meals, like Nancy Nickerson, who just had the whole team at her house. It's just a pretty special thing. Everybody in the community comes together every summer, and everyone's excited to be here. So I think that's kind of the thing that keeps me coming back.
Alex, I'm excited that you're here with us. Tomorrow we're going to get a special in-depth interview with the Alex Gagne at Alex Gagne Photo in our Bird's Eye View special pregame show. Alex, first off, thanks for the time today. An additional thanks for the tomorrow. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
That guy is the absolute GOAT. Cannot say better things about Alex Gagne as a person and as a photographer. Top of the 7th we go here at Red Wilson Field. The Firebirds trail the Red Sox 1-0. Brandon Dufault back out there for YD. First pitch to Trevin Esquera. Misses outside for ball 1. Esquera 2 for 2 tonight in his Orleans debut. Freshly activated this morning for the Firebirds. First baseman out of Loyola Marymount, batted .322 this past season for the Lions. Firebirds have now been shut out over the last 18 innings, dating back to the game against the Wareham Gatemen on Friday evening at Spillane Field. Righty on lefty matchup to kick off the 7th. Here's the 1-0. Fastball line down the left side and out of play, and it's 1-1. It'll be Esqueda, McCabe, and Emery due up in this inning for Orleans. And what a play by Eddie McCabe to end the 6th. Was going out over his shoulder on a bloop shot into shallow center, and it was the shortstop who took it to make the Willie Mays-esque play. 1-1. Fastball that Esqueda's laid on fouls it back, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, that was a tough play by McCabe. And he also scooted about 5 yards on the turf out there in center field, going full speed over towards right center, where his body was pointing towards when he made that catch.
Eddie waiting on deck for Orleans. The 1-2 to Esqueda. Breaking ball misses low and outside, and it's 2-2. We've seen this Orleans offense go a little quiet tonight. Just 3 hits for the Birds. They haven't had a hit since the 4th. Just 6 combined hits between the two sides. Here's the 2-2. Fastball skied up behind the dish. The catcher Cardenas gives a look. This runs out of room, and we'll do it again. So a chance for Orleans to try and get some runs on the board against the Yarmouth Dennis Red Sox. Again, the first 3 meetings, the Red Sox have won. 8-2 at Red Wilson Field on the second night of the summer. 9-5 at Eldridge Park 9 days later. 2-2, breaking ball runs outside, and the count is full at 3-2. And then last night, of course, at Eldridge Park, the Red Sox blanked the Firebirds 4-0, rallying for 4 runs in the final 2 innings. 3-2 the count to the Birds' 5-hole hitter, Trevin Esqueda. Default set. Here's the payoff pitch. Fastball cut on and missed, strike 3. Second strikeout of the night for Default, and there's 1 away here in the 7th.
Well, both pitchers for both sides really have just been dealing. It doesn't matter who comes out of the bullpen or anything along those lines. They continue to strike out the opposing hitters, whichever pitcher for either side is out.
So that will bring up Eddie McCabe, the shortstop from Georgetown. First pitch. Fastball smoked to the left side. It's a fair ball tucked down the left field corner. McCabe digging for second and booted out by Wells. His throw will be over the head of Young into second base. It's a 1-out double for Eddie McCabe, and the Birds' first extra base hit of the night. And Orleans has the tying run in scoring position with 1 away.
So not only is Eddie McCabe doing with the glove, he's doing with the bat as well, having a slow inning to start things off with the bat. But a key double down the left field line now puts the Firebirds in prime striking distance with just 1 away.
So now a chance for Rob Emery to tie this ball game up. The bottom 4 hitters in this Orleans lineup before that double by McCabe, a combined 0 for 6 with 5 Ks. So now Emery digs in from the right side. Right-hander Default set at the chest, checks on McCabe. Here's the first pitch. Fastball slicing the other way, out of play for strike 1. Emery making his second straight start behind the dish. A rising redshirt senior out of San Francisco. It's YD1, Orleans nothing. Here with 1 away in the top of the 7th. Second baseman R.J. Yeager holding on McCabe at second. Default's 0-1. Breaking ball cut on and missed, and it's 0-2. Emery 0 for 2 this evening, went down swinging in both of his ABs prior. He's just 1 for 11 this summer against YD. 22-year-old backstop takes a deep breath. Touches the plate with a black and tan bat. First on the third base side, then the first. Here's the 0-2. Fastball at the knees, misses off the dish, and it's 1-2.
Good take there by Rob Emery. Obviously, a catcher, you know the strike zone very well, especially in a game like this.
Orleans has brought a pinch hitter out into the on-deck circle. Shea Whitcomb from UC San Diego would get the opportunity if the Birds can pass the baton. McCabe aboard at second with 1 away, 1-2. Fastball misses in a similar spot just off the outside part of the plate, and it's 2-2.
Also, Zach Kokoska now coming out in the hole. We'll be hitting for Zach Daniels if we get to that point.
Kelly Nicholson just trying to shake things up and get the offense moving in the latter part of this ball game. Red Sox lead the Firebirds 1-0 with a tying run in scoring position and a one away in the top of the 7th. 2-2 the count to Emery. Default set. Checks on Emery. Beg your pardon, checks on McCabe, and Emery calls time. So Default working meticulously on the mound. The Firebirds just trying to disturb his rhythm.
We saw that last half inning as well where pitch was thrown, but time was called just before the pitch was thrown.
Massive opportunity for Rob Emery. Has 3 RBIs this summer. 2-2. Breaking ball just gets a piece off the end of the bat, and we'll do it again. Emery this past season for the Dons, 40 runs driven in 54 games. An All-West Coast Conference second-team selection. Chokes up on the bat with 2 strikes. With Shea Whitcomb trying to get loose in the on-deck circle. McCabe extends his lead off of second. Default stares him down. The 2-2. Fastball smoked into center field. That'll get down for a base hit. McCabe being held up at third. The throw home from Palmer cut off by Jack Wold. And the Birds have runners on the corners and only one away.
Another big hit here by the Firebirds. They followed. Remember, Kelly Nicholson sat back in the 3rd inning. We need to string some hits together. Well, a double by McCabe, followed up by a single by Emery. And now the Firebirds have something cooking here in this 7th inning.
So Shea Whitcomb will officially be announced as a pinch hitter for the Orleans Firebirds. And Noah Cardenas looks into the third base dugout to get the signs from Scott Pickler. I'll give the first and third base signs to the Red Sox defense with YD leading Orleans 1-0 here in the top of the 7th. Shea Whitcomb starting to figure things out here in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Went 1 for 3 against YD last night, bumping that average up to 211. Kelly Nicholson called him the best Division II player in the country, and rightfully so. Hit .314 this past year at UC San Diego with 11 homers and 42 RBIs. He's driven in 6 runs this summer in his first 12 games, and now Cardenas will have a conversation with Defaults on the bump. And again, light will become a factor here at Red Wilson Field probably about an hour from now. At this point, we're still looking okay to get in all 9 innings, but Scott Pickler will take the long stroll out to the pitcher's mound with a southpaw getting warmed up in the Red Sox bullpen. Now, he stopped warming up. He knows he's coming into this ball game, but Pickler going to call on the infield, have a conversation. Just if he wants to throw one more, why not get it in there?
Just trying to milk the clock down there and look like a sidearm or submarine type of thrower. A pitcher down there in the left field bullpen as now the home umpire will walk out to the mound.
And you know it's a pitching change when superfan Brady walks out to the left field bullpen to signal in the new arm. So Scott Pickler motions to the bullpen. He'll get the southpaw to come in for the YD Red Sox, with the YD Red Sox leading the Orleans Firebirds 1-0 here in the top of the 7th. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Orleans trails Yarmouth Dennis 1-0 as we welcome you back to the 7th inning at Red Wilson Field. Runners on the corners for the Firebirds with one away. The tying run 90 feet away for Orleans, and Shea Whitcomb, the pinch hitter. Scott Pickler will counter with the right-hander Gordon Ingebrigtsen, rising senior at UC Irvine. Firebirds saw Ingebrigtsen last night, faced one batter, issued a free pass. First pitch to Whitcomb. Sidearmer throws a fastball on the inside corner for strike one.
Yeah, because he's a sidearm thrower, it's a little hard to pick up maybe what type of pitch he's throwing or where the type of grip he's throwing out there on the hill.
Ingebrigtsen, a starter for the Anteaters this past season. 15 appearances, 13 starts. 0-1. Breaking ball flared out and missed, and it's 0-2. Now, Ingebrigtsen also pitched against Orleans last summer in the final week of the regular season, threw 3 scoreless innings at Eldridge Park and picked up the victory for the YD Red Sox. They have won 8 consecutive games against Orleans, dating back to their second meeting of 2018. 0-2 the count, the pitch. Breaking ball up and away, and it's 1-2. So Orleans trailing Yarmouth Dennis 1-0. Eddie McCabe, the tying run, just 90 feet away. Rob Emery's aboard at first with one down. Shea Whitcomb in his first AB of the night, hitting .211 this summer with 6 RBIs. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball, cut on and miss, strike 3. A nasty hook from Ingebrigtsen had Whitcomb out in front, and there's 2 away.
Well, it's tough for the Firebirds here. They've had a couple attempts so far driving home some runs. Probably the best opportunity for them was back in the 4th inning and unable to do so. Now with 2 outs here, sense of urgency now out there at the dish.
So now we will get another pinch hitter for the Orleans Firebirds, the Zach swap, as Zach Kokoska will come in to hit for Zach Daniels, and Noah Cardenas looking at Scott Pickler for the sign. They're going to leave the right-hander against the left-handed swinging Zach Kokoska. Runners on the corners for Orleans, 2 away in the top of the 7th at Red Wilson Field. Ingebrigtsen, the submariner from the right side, is set. Here's the first pitch. Breaking ball misses outside for ball 1. Kokoska hitting .260 this summer for Orleans. Got the day off with the southpaw on the bump. Went 0 for 1 last night in a pinch hit opportunity. But the last time Kokoska played in a ball game before last night, he was on the mound. 1-0. Breaking ball catches the outside corner, and it's 1-1. Kokoska threw 2 pitches on Friday night against Wareham. An 87-mile-an-hour fastball taken on the inside corner. Then an 86-mile-an-hour cutter that was hit back off. His arm popped up in the air, and he caught it for the final out of the inning. Tying run 90 feet away for Orleans. The 1-1. Breaking ball nips the outside corner, and it's 1-2. And it seems like Ingebrigtsen is changing arm slots depending on the pitch he's throwing. Has gone 3/4, has gone sidearm, and has even dropped it below as well. That makes it challenging to hit. 1-2 the count. Ingebrigtsen a deep breath. The 1-2. Breaking ball smacked the other way into left field for a base hit. Zach Kokoska delivers. Eddie McCabe comes home to score, and we are tied in the 7th inning at 1-1 here at Red Wilson Field.
Well, Zach Kokoska reading the arm slot on the hill from Ingebrigtsen and then just waits on it and then just lines one right through the hole on the left side of the infield. Great piece of hitting by Zach Kokoska if I've ever seen one before.
Kelly Nicholson makes the move. Kokoska comes through, and the Birds have tied it up, snapping an 18-inning stretch without a run. And now the Firebirds have the go-ahead run in scoring position. Leadoff man Jacob Hurtubise steps in. The first pitch, Hurtubise shows bunt, nubs it up the third base side. Ingebrigtsen comes off, overhand throw to first, and the side is retired. But not before Orleans ties this ball game up on the RBI single by Zach Kokoska. Orleans scores 1 run on 3 hits, no errors, and they leave 2 runners left on base. We've reached stretch time here at Red Wilson Field. Orleans and Yarmouth Dennis tied at 1 apiece. And Thomas, let's look around the Cape Cod Baseball League.
So out at Arnie Allen Diamond in Falmouth, it's the Mariners leading the Commodores by a score of 2-1. At Doran Park in the bottom of the 4th inning, Bourne with a 1-0 lead over the Kettleers, and the game on top of the Harbor Hawks early out at Spillane Field, the bottom of the second. Gateman lead the Harbor Hawks 5-2. And then just underway at Veterans Field, the Anglers and the Whitecaps in the bottom of the first inning. So a couple important games here to watch on Cape Cod. Josh's game to watch is the Gateman and the Harbor Hawks, but
The West Division game to watch, of course.
the West Division.
Josh, you're just saying that because you love your Harbor Hawks, man.
What's the score in that ball game?
They're down 5-2.
Uh-oh. No.
A lot of runs being scored at Spillane so far.
Uh-oh.
They got a chance. Don't count out the Hawks just yet. They're hot. Winners of 2 straight.
We'll see what's going on over there at the bottom of the second inning. Or it's now the top of the third now, so they roll things around. Brandon Fott on the hill for
Are
the
you
Gateman.
sure that's how you say it? P-F-A-A-D-T? Or was that a guess?
No, that is Brandon Fott.
That is Brandon Fott.
That is Brandon Fott.
I would have said
We're broadcasters here. You know, we know what we're talking about most
yeah,
of the time.
that was good.
I believe he pitched against Orleans, so that's
He did.
the only reason why I know that.
Hey, can we go back to Zach Kokoska's 2-out hit right there? What a fantastic piece of hitting. Seriously, me and Alec Hendon kind of gave each other a look. The kid was on one foot. I think he was holding the bat with one hand at that point.
I think
a defensive swing, man.
He had his hands so out in front, he just kind of keep them back.
It was a sword for him. He was using it as a sword.
He was playing Fruit Ninja out there.
So a brand new ball game here at Red Wilson Field as Chase Wallace heads back out for the Orleans Firebirds. First pitch to Noah Cardenas, fastball on the outside corner, taken for strike 1. Cardenas 0 for 2 tonight, struck out looking his last time up. Wallace has retired the last 5 he has faced on the bump after coming in relief for Noah Skiro, 0-1. Breaking ball drops in on the inside corner, and it's 0-2. Check that the last 4 have been Wallace. The 5th would be Noah Skiro. So the Firebirds pitching staff has retired the last 5 collectively. It'll be 8-9-1 in the inning for the Red Sox in what's now a 1-1 ball game. Here's the 0-2. Fastball spiked low, and it's 1-2. So we just got word from our great MLB scout liaison, Tyler Oranger, that Gordon Ingebrigtsen, 65 miles an hour on the gun when he was throwing from that submarine arm slot. Try and hit that.
Unreal.
1-2 from Wallace. Breaking ball stays upstairs, and it's 2-2. So again, now think about, we talked about just Zach Kokoska staying on his front foot, flailing his bat out through the left side. He had to go from an arm slot 3/4, 1 on the side, and then 1 down low.
That's respect right there.
Just saying, Josh, I can throw harder than 65.
It's not saying too much. 2-2 the count, the pitch. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count runs full.
I just love it when Skip down on the first base dugout just shouts, and any coaches, any really players or coaches, they all collected together, just shout. I just love it. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So Cardenas, the catcher from UCLA, looking for his first hit against the Firebirds this summer. Righty on righty matchup. Here's the payoff pitch. Breaking ball runs inside, plunks Cardenas on the back, and the Red Sox will put the leading base runner on.
We have seen in the past where hit by pitches and walks can come back to hurt you, especially with the leadoff man on now for the Red Sox. As Wallace will have to bear down here and try to retire the next couple of Red Sox.
So Scott Pickler will make a move himself. He'll get a pinch hitter. It's Tate Samuelson. Big first baseman from Cal Poly at 6 foot 205 pounds. You wouldn't expect Samuelson to lay down a bunt, yet this is the 9th spot in this Red Sox lineup. So Samuelson hitting .243 this summer, but a guy who's known more for his pop. You got Cardenas on first with nobody down. He's the go-ahead run for the Red Sox. And now the third baseman, Shea Whitcomb, comes creeping in for Orleans. Righty on righty matchup, first pitch. Samuelson swinging, pops it up out of play for strike 1.
Couple cars being victims today out there in the parking lot behind Red Wilson Field. We saw last time we were here, a whole back window was just shattered on the pavement.
It's not what you like to see. Go ahead run on first for YD with the Firebirds and the Red Sox tied at 1. 0-1 from Wallace. Breaking ball cut on and missed, and it's 0-2. So Samuelson played last night for YD. He went 1 for 4 and stole a back. But strikeouts have been a little bit of a problem, 11 Ks in 14 games. Cardenas being held on at first by Izquierda. Wallace set at the chest, 0-2. Fastball misses outside, and it's 1-2. The league leader in hitting, Wyatt Young, waits on deck for the Red Sox. And boy, would Orleans like it to be with nobody on base. A ground ball and a double play would put the Firebirds in a big-time situation. Wallace, a deep breath. Here's the 1-2. Fastball misses low, and it's 2-2.
Couple good takes there by Samuelson at the dish, going to back-to-back. Maybe change-ups there from Chase Wallace. Has that good dipping movement where it starts just above the knees and finishes just below. But Samuelson able to lay off both of them.
I don't think he throws one natural fastball in his repertoire. 2-2. Cutter runs inside, and the count runs full. A lot of cutters, a lot of two-seam fastballs, a lot of sliders and changeups from Chase Wallace.
A little bit of everything. Not that all. He can got a bag of marbles there. He can just pick out whichever one he wants to use.
So we'll see if Cardenas is off with the pitch. Nobody out in the bottom of the seventh. Cardenas running payoff pitch. Chopper back up the middle. Shortstop McCabe fields on the left side of the second base bag. Throws on to first. But Scott Pickler avoids the double play by sending Cardenas in motion. And there's one down.
It was an awkward play by Ed McCabe as well because he was out towards second base. And Cardenas was slipping off the bag. And McCabe had to try to, circumvent Cardenas because I think he wanted to slide but also stand in. And then he almost fell off the backside going towards shortstop.
Now, first base is open, and in any other instance, you might walk this batter. The problem is this Red Sox lineup is so deep. You've got Noah Campbell and Austin Wells to follow. You can't really issue Wyatt Young a free pass. So the go-ahead run in scoring position for YD with one away in the last of the seventh. While it's a deep breath, here's the first pitch. Breaking ball misses outside for ball one. Firebirds have held Young in check tonight. He entered this evening as the league leader in hitting at 379. Orleans has held him to an 0 for 3 with a pair of groundouts and a strikeout looking. The 5'7" shortstop back in from the left side. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball fisted down the left side and out of play, and it's 1-1. Firebirds tied this ball game up on an RBI single in the top half of this seventh. Zach Kokoska came through with a pinch hit knock. He's patrolling right field now for Kelly Nicholson's squad. And Shea Whitcomb has remained in the ball game at third. So if the arm of Kokoska comes into this ball game and plays a part, that would be quite the story. 1-1. Fastball high and tight, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Now we saw Zach Daniels throw out a runner at third base last night. Threw a beeline from right field on a rocket to third to grab Riley King to end the inning in the seventh yesterday. He's now out of the ball game, and it's Zach Kokoska who's got a strong arm as well. 2-1 the count. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball bounces low. Emery backhands it to knock it down, and it's 3-1.
Yeah, if we see another strong throw from any one of these outfielders to nab a run at the plate, I mean, that's been probably, 2 or 3 now over the last 3 at least in the last 5 games where an outfield assist has been recorded. We saw Kokoska back in Chatham as well throw out a runner.
3-1 the count to the leadoff man for the Red Sox, Wyatt Young. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball misses low, ball 4. So Wyatt Young, like he's done so many times this summer, reaches base. He's been on base now for 10 consecutive games. And the Red Sox have runners on first and second with 1 away. And Matt Troop, the Firebirds pitching coach, will come out to have a chat.
Yeah, it just seems Chase Wallace has lost his stuff a bit here after had a 3-2 count on Cardenas, then hit some. Then issues a brilliant at-bat to Samuelson, able to record the ground out. But also, it's a tough situation too because Pickler put the hit and run on, as we mentioned, and it messed up the double play that the Firebirds had in order. And, you mentioned it's not going to get any easier as well because Campbell has a lot of pop in his bat. Then you welcome in probably one of the best Cape League hitters in Austin Wells. And Riley King as well, the cleanup man.
Now, Campbell is a switch hitter, so if Orleans wanted to go to the bullpen, they could make the move. Now, Campbell will bat from the right side against, the left side against the right-hander, Chase Wallace. And from the left side so far this summer, Noah Campbell just 1 for 9. From the right side, it's been a completely different story. He's batting .351. So despite the righty on lefty matchup, it makes sense why Kelly Nicholson would leave the right-hander on the bump. First pitch from Chase Wallace. Breaking ball hit to the left side, could be 2. Underhand flip from McCabe. On to first, scooped out of the dirt by Esqueda, not in time. So Campbell hustled out of the box, beat the slow-moving ground ball to the left side. The Birds able to get the runner at second, but that puts runners on the corners with 2 away.
And Campbell runs pretty well down the first base line as well. As a tough play, because you mentioned it's a soft tapper up the middle. McCabe flipped it fast as he could have Soretti at second, but Soretti had to come across the whole bag towards the third base side. It almost threw across his body. A tough play. Esquera stretched as far as he could, but couldn't get the job done.
And now, not even with first base open, they are going to intentionally walk one of the best hitters in the Cape Cod Baseball League, Austin Wells, to load the bases.
The third baseman.
So Kelly Nicholson will load the bases intentionally to set up the force out and set up a righty-righty matchup and call to the bullpen. So with 2 away in the last of the 7th, with the Firebirds and the Red Sox tied at 1, the base is full for YD, and the cleanup man Riley King coming up. Kelly Nicholson will take the ball from Chase Wallace and make the move to the pen. We'll step aside and be right back. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Orleans and YD tied at 1 in the bottom of the 7th, but the Red Sox threatening with the bases full and 2 away. And Kelly Nicholson will call on Nick Garcia, the right-hander from Chapman, to get Orleans out of the jam. Birds elected to intentionally walk Austin Wells to load the bases, arguably the best hitter in the Cape Cod Baseball League. That will bring up Riley King, who's 1 for 2 today, scored the lone Red Sox run back in the 4th. Righty on righty matchup. Here's the first pitch. Fastball hit hard to the third baseman, Shea Whitcomb. Gobbles it up. He'll throw to first base. 1 pitch, and the Birds get out of the jam. So Kelly Nicholson played the matchup, brought in Nick Garcia, and the righty from Chapman comes in, and the crisis is averted. So after 7, Orleans and YD tied at 1. We'll head to a short break. Listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
I like Legos ever since I was a little kid. So
Was there like a tipping point, like a specific day where you were like, do you know what, Legos are sick?
I think it was just ever since once I figured out what I could do with the Legos, like building spaceships from my own mind, just putting them together and stuff like that.
And it still reigns true today?
Yeah, I do love them. I don't have any with me though.
Oh,
that's the sad
That's
part.
a long summer.
Yeah, I know. That's a long summer.
All right, I'll track you back. If there's one specific Lego Starship, Battle Star, whatever thing that you made that you're most proud of, is there one you could pick out?
Yes, there's one that I made from scratch. Like I took some parts that were in the instructions and then added some new stuff that I wanted from my mind, my imagination, and I really liked it. It was a lot of fun doing it.
What did it look like?
It was like a spaceship, but it had like it was almost like a baseball for like the cruise ship, almost where the driver would sit.
Okay.
And but it was orange. And it was like a little globe that he sat in.
Whoa.
For where
You send that into like BMW or anything like that?
No, I didn't. I should have.
Yeah.
I should have.
I noticed you have lots of wristbands on. What do those mean to you? If there's anyone specifically?
One of them just says strength, integrity, passion, which we got from Tennessee, just from having strength and integrity in Christ. And then just passion for whatever you're passionate about.
What are you passionate about?
Christ, baseball, and family.
Pretty cool. Normally when I ask different...
Firebirds and Red Sox tied at 1 as we head to the top of the 8th at Red Wilson Field. Gordon Ingebrigtsen will head back out to the mound for the Red Sox, set to face Josh Zamora. First pitch, Sidewinder fires a curveball on the outside corner for strike 1.
It's going to be a little bit of an adjustment here. We mentioned the arm slots, but the speed as well, going from Seymour can pump into the low 90s into mid-90s with a fastball. Now to Ingebrigtsen.
Ingebrigtsen set at the belt. Here's the 0-1. Breaking ball drops in on the outside part of the plate, misses outside, and it's 1-1. Now it will be interesting to see if Pickler elects to stay with Ingebrigtsen. You have a switch-hitting second baseman, Danny Cerretti, on deck, and then you have a left-handed bat, Zach Britton, due up in this inning. 1-1. Breaking ball taken on the outside corner, and it's 1-2. That might have been the slowest pitch we've seen all afternoon. We heard Ingebrigtsen was clocked in at 65 miles an hour an inning ago. And that might have been lower 60s. 1-2 the count to Josh Zamora. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball lofted out to shallow center field. Palmer charging in. This one will bloop down for a base hit. Josh Zamora flares a bloop shot into center, and the Birds a leadoff base runner here in the 8th.
Well, it was a blooper that just found its way into right center field again. The right and left field lines, a lot of space for or ground for those outfielders to cover out there, and Josh Zamora just finding the outfield grass out there. Again, just don't do too much with these pitches from Ingebrigtsen.
Have a defensive change for the Red Sox as well. Gavin Dugas, the new second baseman. Cerretti showing bunt, takes a first pitch fastball on the outside corner for strike 1. So Orleans trying to play some small ball with the heart of their lineup to follow. Zach Britton on deck and Trevin Esqueda waiting in the hole. Orleans and YD tied at 1 with the go-ahead run on first base. Third baseman King in on the grass. Cerretti charging, squaring, 0-1. Breaker fouled off, and it's 0-2. So we'll see if the bunt stays on with 2 strikes. I'd imagine it comes off. But Cerretti 0 for 2 tonight. Drew a walk in the 4th. Grounded into a double play in the 6th. He's been starting to heat up for the Orleans Firebirds. A hit in 5 of his last 6 starts. Zamora extending his lead at first base. Ingebrigtsen set. Here's the 0-2. It's a breaking ball that gets past the catcher Cardenas. Zamora will charge to second. Head first slide, and he's in. So a de facto sacrifice bunt for the Orleans Firebirds. Josh Zamora advances on the wild pitch. And now the go-ahead run is in scoring position.
And now Cerretti has a chance now not to just bunt him over, but also drive in Josh Zamora from second base.
All he has to do is hit a ball to the right side. Just advance Zamora to third and get him 90 feet closer. Righty on lefty matchup with nobody down in the top of the 8th. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball tails off the plate, and it's 2-2. Nice distraction for Gordon Ingebrigtsen on the bump. A car going off here at Red Wilson Field. Noise has since come to a halt.
Really want I can put my caramel off for you, if you really want me to.
Now the Miami Maniac at Marklight Field will flash the opposing pitcher on the mound. 2-2. Breaking ball cut on a miss, strike 3. So Soretti goes down hacking, and there's one away.
Fans, hot dogs.
Now, if I'm not mistaken as well, the Miami Maniac and Sebastian the Ibis, the only school with 2 different mascots depending on the sport.
Well, the Friars of Providence will have Huxley the dog, and then
geez.
the Dominican Friar mascot.
I think there's just one mascot. It's the Friar.
Well, the Friars only at hockey games, and then Huxley comes in for the basketball games as well.
First pitch to Zach Britton. Breaking ball runs off the plate for ball 1. Britton 1 for 3 tonight, a single back in the 4th. Struck out looking in the 6th. So Ingebrigtsen walking around the mound as the sun's starting to set here at Red Wilson Field down the left field line. It's a little past 7:30 on a Sunday evening in South Yarmouth, Massachusetts. Orleans and YD tied at 1 here in the 8th. The 1-0. Breaking ball runs up and in. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Couple arms starting to toss in the YD bullpen. A pair of right-handers getting loose for the Red Sox. Would YD pitch around Zach Britton to set up the force out. 2-0 the count. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball that Britton chases out of the zone, and it's 2-1. Now you have Trevin Esqueda on deck. He's 2 for 3 today in his Orleans debut. Zamora, the go-ahead run in scoring position. 1 away here in the top of the 8th. Righty on lefty matchup, the 2-1. Breaking ball chopped out of play, and it's 2-2.
You can see Zach Britton there just trying to get the timing down. The timing mechanism in his swing is going to be his front right foot. And on that slow ball, he kind of did a little too early, and they had to try to keep his momentum back in the stance and just able to foul it off.
Kelly Nicholson came out into the on-deck circle to have a chat with Trevin Esqueda to try and game plan him for Gordon Ingebrigtsen on the bump. Shortstop Wyatt Young holding on Josh Zamora at second. The 2-2. Breaking ball flutters outside, and the count runs full. So a chance for the Firebirds, who are out hitting the Red Sox 7-3, to take their first lead in this home-and-home series. Orleans has dropped the first 3 games against YD this summer. They haven't beaten the Red Sox since game number 3 of last season. YD's won 8 in a row. 3-2 the count. Ingebrigtsen checks on the runner at second. Here's the payoff pitch. Breaking ball hit hard to the right side, but foul, and we'll do it again. So Zach Britton continues to battle for the Orleans Firebirds. Has driven in 6 runs in his first 8 games in the Cape Cod Baseball League. Racked up 28 RBIs this past season at Louisville. Good arms in the outfield for YD. Austin Wells, Jake Palmer, and Eric Tolman. Zamora dancing around at second base with 1 away in the top of the 8th. Payoff pitch, fastball smacked over the head of the first baseman Wold, down the right field line for a base hit. Charging around third base is Josh Zamora. The throw goes into second. Zach Britton slides feet first, and the Birds have the lead on the RBI double by Zach Britton. It's 2-1 in favor of Orleans.
Well, you mentioned at the Firebirds who were out hitting the YD Red Sox, and you just knew that a run had to come here for the Firebirds. They out hit the Red Sox today, and a big base knock by Zach Britton puts the Firebirds ahead. And now they have a chance to tack on another because Britton goes into second base with an RBI double.
So Orleans went scoreless for 18 consecutive innings, and now they've scored in back-to-back frames to take a 2-1 lead over YD here at Red Wilson Field. Still threatening for more with Trevin Esquera stepping in. First pitch, breaking ball bounces low for ball 1. So Britton RBI number 7 this summer for the Birds, who are looking to finish off this first half of the summer with 12 victories. They stand 2.5 points back of the Chatham Anglers for first place in the East Division. 1-0 the count to Trevin Esqueda, who's 2 for 3 today. 1-0. Breaking ball hit on the ground hard to the first base side. Diving stop by the first baseman, Jack Wold. He runs to the bag himself to take away an RBI base hit from Trevin Esqueda. Moving 90 feet to third is Zach Britton, and there's 2 down.
Yeah, that could be a really big play over there at first base by Wold, especially because he's able to save an extra base hit, possibly release a single and a run from scoring. Keeps the lead at 2-1 with 2 outs with the Firebirds at a runner on third.
It's now a chance for Eddie McCabe to tack on an insurance Stanley for Orleans. The Firebirds lead the Red Sox 2-1 here in the 8th. First pitch, breaking ball smacked into right center field. Right fielder Tolman on the run, battling the sun out there, makes the grab, and the side is retired. But not before the Orleans Firebirds grab their first lead of the ball game on an RBI double by Zach Britton. Orleans scores 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave 1 runner left on base. After 7.5, it's Orleans 2, YD 1. You're listening to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network.
We are here at Eldridge Park. Scotty Gange alongside Rob Emery.
We're actually here at Fenway Park.
No. Oh, that's right. It's right behind us.
Yeah.
Hey, Firebirds family, welcome into Fenway Park. It's a phenomenal day. I've said it about 1,000,000 times today with all the guys. We're just having so much fun out here. I got the lucky chance to catch up with players, coaches, interns. Here's a little best of montage from our fantastic day here at the park.
I couldn't imagine anything better.
Couldn't be better than this.
Yeah, it's a dream come true no matter what.
I feel a little bit like Neil Armstrong, to be quite honest with you.
Can't really describe it.
It's just a load of fun.
Yes, this is completely a dream.
It was really like a dream come true. It was such a great experience.
Just how cool this is, honestly.
In Fenway Park, look at where we're at, man. This is so much fun.
You know, magical, if I had to say one word.
You kidding, man? I didn't stop smiling.
It's fun. The fun part for me is watching our guys enjoy this day. That's the best part about it.
If you could choose one trait that you'd like to be of yourself in here today, if you could bring the best trait of Max Troiani, of Josh Zamora to the absolute fullest, what would you like it to be today?
I just want to have fun, man. Yeah. I think that's what the game is.
Just be able to take everything in. Kind of realize all the blessings that we have around us right now.
The best foot forward, make the best impression, and you know, give it all you got. Just try to enjoy it and you know, keep the baseball part of it simple.
I would say it's don't let failure get to you, you know?
It's kind of a thing to take dirt from
the University of Nevada.
So the Orleans Firebirds with their first lead of the evening as we head to the last of the 8th at Red Wilson Field. It's Orleans 2, YD 1. Nick Garcia, who got the Birds out of the jam in the 7th, stays in the game for the Firebirds. First pitch to Jack Wold, rocketed out to deep center field. Center fielder Hurtubise on the run, leaps and makes the grab at the fence. Hurtubise full extension in front of the wall, secures a loud out number 1 here in the 8th.
Well, I'm putting an asterisk in my scorebook on that catch. Incredible catch by Hurtubise in center field. Wold put a good jolt into that one, but Hurtubise feeling for the wall, jumps up, and will make the catch. And again, that would have been a big base knock for the Red Sox here if they could get a man on with nobody out, especially if he's able to reach second base.
Chase Wallace, we can give you his final line after this pick from Nick Garcia. Runs inside, hits off the right hand of the home plate umpire, Mike Hinojosa, for ball 1. Hinojosa going to throw it out just to test the arm. But let's give you the final line on Chase Wallace. He went 2 scoreless, walked 1 and struck out 1. But Nick Garcia has now thrown 3 pitches and gotten 2 outs. Firebirds lead the Red Sox 2-1 here with 1 away in the bottom of the 8th. Righty on lefty matchup. Here's the 1-0 to Tolman. Fastball paints the outside black, and it's 1-1. Tolman came into this ball game as a pinch hitter for the Red Sox back in the 4th. Delivered the lone RBI tonight for YD with a single. Then grounded out to the first baseman Trevin Esqueda in the 6th. 1-1. Breaking ball misses low and in, and it's 2-1. So Garcia, who got the Birds out of the jam in the 7th with 1 pitch. It was bases loaded and 2 down. Kelly Nicholson elected to intentionally walk Austin Wells, and it paid off as Nick Garcia came through and got a huge out. 2-1. Fastball runs up and away, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Jake Palmer will follow in this inning for YD. Center fielder from UC Irvine waits on deck. 3 lefties due up in this inning for the Red Sox before 2 right-handed swingers would follow in this YD lineup. 3-1 pitch. Fastball off the plate, ball 4. Nick Garcia issues a free pass to Eric Tolman, the tying run, who will trot down to first.
Center fielder from the University
So
of
Jake
California,
Palmer, who's 0 for 3 tonight, struck out swinging back in the 4th, will dig in. Palmer last night against the Orleans Firebirds delivered a double. And boy, would that be huge right here for YD. Tying run on first base, the go-ahead run at the plate. Firebirds lead the Red Sox 2-1 with 1 away in the last of the 8th. First pitch. Fastball runs off the dish for ball 1. Firebirds have turned their fair share of double plays this summer in big spots. This would be another one to add to a very long list on this impressive defensive resume. Tolman leads off first with 1 away. Infield at double play depth. 1-0. Fastball smacked through the left side for a base hit. Jake Palmer moves the line for YD, and the Red Sox have runners on first and second with 1 away.
Yeah, just simple hitting there by Jake Palmer. You mentioned he had the double yesterday. Continues to hit here for Waddy. Only his first base hit in this ball game, but he continues to deliver clutch hitting for the Red Sox. Just extends the arm pitch on the outside corner, puts it through the hole on the ground to the left side.
So it looks like we will get a pinch hitter here for Orleans. Check that YD. Brad Beasley will come in to hit for the Red Sox. So that will end the day for Noah Cardenas, the catcher from UCLA. And Beasley, who's just batting a .67 this summer, will come on to pinch hit for YD.
And we saw Beasley in yesterday's ball game for the Red Sox. 0 for 3, but came around a score in the 9th inning. That was a big insurance run for the Red Sox to win that game 4-0.
He's just 1 for 6 this summer against Orleans. First pitch, fastball he's swinging, fouls it back for strike 1. So Cardenas, who is batting above 300 coming into the night, is taken out. And Beasley, who's batting a .67, enters in this spot. On paper, doesn't seem like the most conventional move, but Scott Pickler's won more than 500 games in the Cape Cod Baseball League. 0-1, fastball runs low and in, and it's 1-1. Runners on first and second for YD with 1 away. Firebirds lead the Red Sox 2-1 here in the bottom of the 8th. Beasley on the interstate at a .67 with 1 homer and 4 RBIs. Righty on righty matchup. Here's the 1-1. Fastball smacked over the head of the second baseman, Soretti. Down for a base hit into center. Charging around from third is Tolman. And once again, Scott Pickler punches the right button. He brings in Brad Beasley, who is just batting a .67. And we're tied at 2 here in the 8th at Red Wilson Field.
The second time a pinch hitter for the Red Sox has driven in a run. You're exactly right, Scott Pickler. I guess the pinch hitter whisperer guru or something just again comes in, puts a guy at the dish, and they get ahead and score a run.
So Gavin Dugas, who came in as a defensive replacement in the last inning for Tate Samuelson, will get his first licks at the dish. So now 3 pinch hitters in this ball game. 2 of them have delivered an RBI single for YD, and Kelly Nicholson will walk out of the Firebirds dugout to talk with Nick Garcia.
I don't know if it's just incredibly luck or just he's got something to it, but
Again, there's a reason why we're behind the fence and Scott Pickler's in that third base dugout, but you take out a .318 hitter and interchange him for someone who's batting a .67, and Brad Beasley delivers with an RBI knock. So the entire infield converging to talk with Kelly Nicholson. And the Red Sox have runners on first and second. And again, daylight will play a factor here at Red Wilson Field tonight, it appears.
Yeah, currently 7:47 p.m. You have to figure that they could probably play baseball here for another 15 minutes, 20 minutes at most, I believe.
We should be able to get one more whole inning here at Red Wilson Field, barring anything major. So Kelly Nicholson stalls on the mound, makes the call to the bullpen, and Nick Garcia will take the long stroll back to the first base dugout. Brand new ball game once again. Orleans and Yarmouth Dennis tied at 2. We'll head to a short break. You listen to Firebirds Baseball on the Birds Broadcast Network. Orleans and YD tied at 2 here in the 8th, and Zebulon Vermillion has come on to get the Birds out of the jam. First pitch from Vermillion, fastball taken on the outside corner, called strike 1. So Nick Garcia got the Birds out of the jam an inning ago, now gets the Birds into one here in the 8th. Runners on first and second with 1 away. Vermillion, his 4th appearance of the summer for Orleans. 2 1/3 so far, 0-1. Breaking ball misses up, and it's 1-1. Vermillion, 2 1/3, has not given up an earned run this summer. Last pitch 2 nights ago against Wareham through a scoreless frame. Firebirds and Red Sox tied at 2. Beasley's on at first, Palmer off of second. The 1-1. Fastball smacked into right field for a base hit. Being held up at third is Jake Palmer. That one was hit a mile on a rocket, and the bases are full, and the Red Sox have the bases loaded with 1 away.
Yeah, you probably had a good chance that Pickler wasn't going to send Jake Palmer around third base in to score 1 because you mentioned it was on a rope, the ball was.
And that will bring the league leader in hitting, Wyatt Young, to the dish.
And now you know, too, that Wyatt Young, a guy that's having a quiet night so far, 0 for 3 with a walk, you just got to feel he's due at the plate.
You would think Young's due for a hit. The Birds are going to bring their infield in, the middle at middle. They're not going to keep him at double play depth all the way back. Young might be a tough guy to double up. So second and third middle. The corners are in. Bases loaded with 1 away. First pitch to Young. Fastball taken on the outside corner for strike 1. So we have it once again. Zebulon Vermillion at 6'5", Wyatt Young at 5'7". A 10-inch difference in height. Yeah, this might make the difference in tonight's ball game. Orleans 2, YD 2. The bases loaded with 1 away in the last of the 8th. Dugas is off of first. Beasley on second. Palmer 90 feet away. 0-1, fastball fouled off, and it's 0-2.
Well, Zebulon really battling hard here against Wyatt. Young comes right at him with 2 fastballs. Has 2 strikes on him, could really use a strikeout here.
Now, even if he strikes out Young, he wouldn't be out of the trees just yet. He's got Noah Campbell waiting on deck, the switch-hitting DH from South Carolina, who's reached base twice tonight. 0-2 the count to Wyatt Young. Vermillion set. Here's the pitch. Fastball popped into shallow left field. Tailing towards the foul line. Britton gives chase. This runs out of play, and we'll do it again. And if you're Zach Britton, even on that ball, you can give chase. You might just let it fall out of play.
Josh,
why let the runner from third?
Actually heard all the coaches screaming, let it go, let it go. Pretty interesting.
In that instance, you don't want the out.
Right.
You would rather that ball fall foul, because then that allows Palmer to tag from third. So the sun continues to set on the third base side, 5 minutes shy of 8 o'clock. Vermillion's 0-2. Fastball flared into shallow right center field. The center fielder, Hurtubise, comes on. He's charging in. Palmer tagging up from third. The throw to the plate from Hurtubise off the mound and offline. Sacrifice fly for Wyatt Young, and YD comes right back as the Red Sox take a 3-2 lead here in the 8th.
A great throw by Hurtubise. It just hit the side of the mound, and it just kind of slowed down a bit there.
And yeah, guys, it looks like Kelly Nicholson's calling him to check a bag. He's yelling. I can't see if he's
They're going to appeal to check one of the bases. Vermillion's got the ball beyond the rubber. He'll have to step on, step off, and then make the throw to appeal. So Campbell steps in from the left side. Vermillion steps off. They're going to appeal at third base, and the appeal is that he was safe. So Palmer did not leave early. He tags up successfully, and the Red Sox take a 3-2 lead here in the last of the 8th. And now not only are the Firebirds battling the Red Sox, they're now battling the sun. They've got about 5 minutes before 8 o'clock, and sunset set for about 8:18, but it'll get dark here at Red Wilson Field. Remember, we got to get through a complete inning, not just the top half. Righty on lefty matchup, first pitch to Campbell. Fastball misses outside for ball 1.
So you just start allowing the Red Sox to score runs here, or what?
Now you could just try and stall yourself and not let this inning be complete. 1-0, fastball chopped to the right side. Backhanded by Esqueda in fair territory. Bobbles the baseball. Can't complete the toss to Vermillion. Dugas comes in from third. Right behind him is Beasley, and the Red Sox tack on 2 more. It's 5-2 here in the 8th. And now the umpires will get together. Let's see what they'll discuss right here. Could it be too dark already?
That'll be interesting here because then it's a tie ball game.
Then it reverts back to the end of the 7th with the Birds and the Red Sox tied at 1. None of the madness here in the 8th would count. So you would have to take the 4 runs scored in the bottom of the 8th off the board. You'd have to take the Firebirds tally in the top half off as well. And it would end 1-1 after 7. So now if you're Orleans, do you intentionally throw balls? Do you intentionally walk everyone, step off the mound, and buy time? Now you know Kelly Nicholson is a man of high character, and he would never do it. But the sun's starting to set here at Red Wilson Field, and it looks very unlikely that we'd play a 9th. Red Sox lead the Firebirds 5-2, and Austin Wells, the batter, the 8th hitter this inning. First pitch, fastball on the inside corner, called strike 1. So that play is officially scored as an E3 charged to Trevin Esqueda, and then an E3 on the throw. The 0-1. Fastball misses low and outside, and it's 1-1. So an E3 allows Campbell to score and brings home Beasley, and then an error on the throw brings home Dugas from third. Red Sox have scored 4 already in the inning. 1-1. Fastball roped to the right side. Past the Divas already into right field for a base hit. So there comes Austin Wells. After the Birds intentionally walked him in the 7th, he delivers a base knock here in the 8th. And YD has their offense cooking here in the 8th inning.
Third baseman from the University of Georgia, Riley King.
So now the umpires will meet once again. Now the umpires are helping Orleans' case. They are buying more time for the Firebirds, yet on a single into right, there might not be much to discuss.
Now, a game was called after 8 innings, I believe, against Brewster here at YD, and it was right around 8 o'clock when the game was called. Now, right now, we're currently at 7:58 p.m.
And now they're going to call Kelly Nicholson and Scott Pickler together. Right at 7:58 and 30 seconds, about 20 minutes before sunset at Red Wilson Field. Currently, it's a 5-2 ball game in favor of the YD Red Sox. But we're still 1 out away from completing the 8th. If this doesn't, as we don't come to a complete inning, this would revert back to the 7th and end in a 1-1 tie.
You know Scott Pickler wants to play this one last out.
Oh, Scott Pickler would lay down a bunt to get this out. Now the umpire's engaging in a conversation. I don't know if Scotty Gaines has trickled his way in there. And Scott Pickler just throwing his hands up saying, hey, let's speed this conversation up and get this last out. So the meeting's adjourned. Kelly Nicholson's still on the field wanting to elongate this conversation. A little bit of gamesmanship going on here at Red Wilson Field. Now the Red Sox faithful starting to get into it as well down the left field line. This is a very, very entertaining conversation. Now, we saw something similar when the Firebirds played the Brewster Whitecaps at Stony Brook Field earlier in the summer. Brewster was leading 3-0 against the Firebirds in the 5th. We were 2 outs away from getting a complete game. And Kelly Nicholson bargained a little bit, bought some time, and they called the game. Game did not count. So with the Red Sox leading the Firebirds 5-2, Kelly Nicholson's on the top step of the Orleans dugout. There's 2 away in the last of the 8th with 2 on. Riley King, the 9th batter this inning. Righty on righty matchup. Here's the first pitch. Fastball taken on the outside corner, called strike 1. It's now 8 o'clock here at Red Wilson Field. Now you ask the question, why does that matter? For those of you who are just tuning in, there are no lights here in South Yarmouth. Here's the 0-1. Fastball popped sky high on the right side. Will Orleans let this fall? Danny Soretti tosses his hands up, makes the 2-handed grab, and the side is retired. but not before the Red Sox score 4 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors, and they leave 2 runners left on base. So the Red Sox score 4 in the 8th.
I think
the umpires are getting together, and it looks like that might be the end of the ball game.
Yeah, they called it right after that last half inning, as now Kelly Nicholson's going to trudge out towards the home plate area.
Now, I think Kelly's argument is, why didn't we just drop the ball and try and elongate this to revert it back? We did the morally right thing to try and play this game, but the Red Sox just want to shake hands, and now Skip's having a conversation with the umps.
Yeah, just something interesting going on here again. Only in the Cape League where do you get results like that? A little bit of chess battle going on between both sides.
So Orleans falls 5-2 in 8 innings at Red Wilson Field. Orleans scores 2 runs on 8 hits. They make 2 errors that prove costly here in the 8th. The Red Sox score 5 runs on 7 hits. No errors as Orleans falls to 11-9-2 on the summer. YD advances to 14-7-1, and Kelly Nicholson still having a conversation with Scott Pickler after this ball game. First half of the season has come and gone for Orleans. They are 2 games above the 500 mark. They have lost 5 consecutive games after winning 5 straight. And Scotty Gage will make his way to chat with the Birds baller of the game and talk about a wild, wild contest here at Red Wilson Field. And Scotty doing his best job to weave in and out through the traffic on this third base side. Scotty will grab the right-hander from Liberty, Noah Skiro. After 5 dominant innings, check that, 4 2/3 dominant innings from Skiro, gave up 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned. Walked 3 and struck out 7. As we wait for our cameraman, Bryce Johnson, to get in position, let's send it over to Scotty Gage.
Thanks, buddy. Here with the Birds baller of the game, Noah Skiro. We just said it 4 stars, 3 times you've been the Birds baller of the game. Obviously, something's working out there for you, huh?
Yeah, I was really happy with changeup today to be able to introduce that when I didn't really have slider or curveball. So that was a huge positive for me to have a 4th pitch to go to.
So last week when we talked after the game, you said that your changeup was working as well and you didn't have to throw much of the slider. It seems like the changeup has turned into your pitch this summer.
Yeah, it's kind of nice for a change. Over the school year, it was all slider, curveball, and didn't throw hardly any. So this was the goal for the summer for sure.
So you went 3 innings, then 4, then 5, and tonight 5 2/3. Were you limited at 5 2/3? 4 2/3, excuse me. Were you limited there?
No, it was pitch count. I was back up to 84 again. So took me out, put Wallace in there, and he did the job.
I know your parents and your girlfriend were here. How cool is that for them to watch you play?
It's fun. Yeah, I mean, I'm thankful enough to have them being able to see a lot of my games. My mom, it's nice for my mom to be up here. She doesn't get to see me play too much at school, so that's nice.
If you had to be nitpicky, I know there's not much to be nitpicky on for you this season so far, but if there's one thing you're still trying to develop this summer, what would you say it would be?
Walks, man. Keep walking, dudes. It sucks. Yeah, I mean, we're up to 9. That's not good. So still got room to improve and keep working, keep getting better.
Well, you were looking good tonight. Congratulations to you. Thanks for the time. Yeah. And 3 out of 4, man. We'll make it 4 out of 5 next week. How about that?
All right, sounds
hey,
good.
the Birds baller of the game, Noah Skiro. Thanks, buddy.
And thank you, Scott. Again, that was our Salad reporter, Scotty Gage, alongside our Bird baller of the game, Noah Skiro, who goes 4 2/3 innings. So only allows 3 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, 3 walks, and 7 punch-outs. Had that fastball and curveball working today. Unfortunately, the Firebirds fall to the Waddy Red Sox after 8 innings by a score of 5-2. Waddy puts up 4 runs in that 8th inning. As a couple clutch hits by the Firebirds just fall short. Zach Kokoska will be joining us here on the Birds Broadcast Network in just a few seconds. Kokoska delivered a key RBI single in the 7th inning of this ball game. As again, the game was called due to darkness here at Red Wilson Field, one of the few fields here on Cape Cod that is called due to darkness. As we'll just take a quick look around the Cape at some scores for just a second. Bottom of the 6th inning, Katuitt leading the Braves 6-1. Harwich tied at 2 in the bottom of the 7th. Hyannis 7-4. They trail in the bottom of the 4th inning. Still a scoreless ball game in the bottom of the 4th in Chatham. As I am now joined by Zach Kokoska here on the Birds Broadcast Network. Zach, thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Zach, we're just going to jump right into it. You came as a pinch hitter in the 7th inning. You're facing Ingebrigtsen. Now, a guy that is kind of a funky pitcher in a way because he's got different arm slots, throws different pitches. We actually clocked him at 65 miles an hour.
Yeah, I believe it.
What was the challenge out there on the left side?
I mean, it's always hard coming off the bench and trying to get a hit, especially when you've been sitting there for like 7 innings. I just trusted my approach when I came in, did what I could. He was a slow pitcher, which helped me get my barrel on plane a little sooner and see the ball a little bit better coming in off the bench. But, I just tried to put it in play to the left side. There's a pretty big hole out there, and I hit it through it. So, I just got to trust my plan and come off the bench and think I can do what I know I can do.
And you talk about coming off the bench. A couple nights ago, you came off the bench in Wareham as a pitcher. When was the last time did you pitch back, let's just say, in this type of level?
I actually pitched 2 innings at Kansas State this year with 1 start. I pitched at San Diego State for an inning, and I pitched against Canisius in a start 1 inning as well. We were down by a lot, so there wasn't too much pressure on me. So I just came in and had fun, and it was a good time, and it kind of ended in a funny way.
Well, you made an incredible catch on the mound, a comeback right off your back. It pops up, and then you make the catch. Is there any chance we'll see you on the mound the rest of this season?
I'm down to get down on the mound anytime. Coach Troop said he might use me if they need arms again, and looking forward to it if he ever calls my name. So, I'm looking forward to getting back on the bump.
Love to see you back on the bump. It's great to see you out there. And every time a position player, but also you're fantastic on the hill. Unfortunately, the Firebirds have dropped 5 straight games in a row, but you guys just keep, clawing back into things here. Here in YD, you deliver that clutch RBI single, as I mentioned before. What has been, after every game, what has Kellen Nicholson, the rest of his coaching staff, been kind of preaching to you guys?
He's pretty much just said, relax, guys. It's not the end of the world. Just get back to how we were feeling good when we were on that win stretch too, and just don't put too much pressure on ourselves. It's baseball. You're supposed to have fun, and you play your best when you're having fun. So he pretty much just told us not to stress ourselves out. That's what we're trying to get back to right now.
Well, you guys will be back home tomorrow against Chatham. Zach, thank you for joining me here on the Birds Broadcast Network.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Again, that was Zach Kokoska, who came in the 7th inning with a key RBI single to tie things up with the YD Red Sox. Again, the Firebirds fall to the YD Red Sox here, called after 8 innings at Red Wilson Field due to darkness. YD 5, Firebirds 2 again. Firebirds will be back in action tomorrow night at home against Chatham. First pitch at 7 p.m. Pregame show at 6:45. Sometime around there. So that'll do it for us here at Red Wilson Field. Again, YD 5, Firebirds 2. For my style reporter, Scotty Gange, our producer, Bryce Johnson, my broadcast partner, Josh White, I'm Thomas Inzarello saying so long from South Yarmouth at Red Wilson Field. We'll see you back at Eldridge tomorrow night.